as they're running to their locker room. They're not booing the Razorbacks. They're booing the striped-shirted guys.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
So you heard from Chuck Barrett at the end of the Arkansas-LSU game on the IMG broadcast that this might be the most painful loss of the season. And I was debating this weekend, as it is a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, what is the most painful loss of the season? I think you can only pick between two games. This past game against the LSU Tigers or the game on the road against the Auburn Tigers. Either way, you're still salty about what occurred Saturday afternoon in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. We've got the phone lines open up all morning, 877-377-6963. Tommy, I'm assuming there's going to be quite a few hot takes this morning.
Oh, I would imagine it is a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, as they're ready for you to explore this fall luxury brands you can depend on. Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit, plus their mobile service shuttle, relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV is 5 miles west of Exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
We have a lot to talk about this morning concerning the Arkansas-LSU game, the lack of depth on the defensive line, the inability for them to complete third downs, their inability to get off the field against a true freshman quarterback. You look at a lot of different statistics, a lot of different scenarios that played out in that game, more favored the LSU Tigers than they did Arkansas. And yes, there's going to be some complaints about officiating this morning. You're happy to voice their opinion all morning on those. 877-377-6963. So what stood out to you first and foremost?
Oh, the third downs. 0 for 10 on third down. The inability to sustain drives. 8 of your 13 drives, Ty, and I know we've talked about this before the show and over the weekend. You had 13 possessions in the ball game. 8 times you either punted the ball on 3 and out, one time you punted it with 4 and out, or the essentially pick 6. I know it doesn't go down as that because it went to the 1, and that one was reviewed too, but LSU scored on the next play. So more or less it was a pick 6. So those are the plays that, and the inability to sustain offensive possessions is the reason you lost. I mean, I know there's going to be other focuses throughout the show, and I know we're going to get into the officiating side of it at some point. But you want to look at why you lost the ball game. You just got to focus in on Arkansas's inability to keep the offense on the field.
Mike Woods said if you go 0 for 10 on third down, you're asking for it. That is what he said following the game. And Mike once again performed 4 receptions, 140 yards, including 2 big-time catches. I think one was, it might have been both 50 yards, but Mike had another stellar game, had an average of 35 yards per reception. Traylon Burks also had a good game, 5 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown. And Mike ran a great pick play for him, which got Traylon wide open, which he was able to break 2 tackles and then get into the end zone. So they had some good passing plays. Felipe, for those who saw the statistic, Pro Football Focus put this out on yard or passes of 20-plus yards or more. He was 5 for 5 for 245 yards and a touchdown. And I know there's going to be some people also this morning that complain about Kendall Briles' play calling, and I understood, like, you can't just go deep every time because if there's 2 safeties over the top, the ball's going to get picked off. It seemed like when Mike had single coverage or when they were running cover 0 or cover 1, cover 0 means no safety, and then cover 1's just 1 safety over the top. A lot of times they did find Mike or they found Traylon on deep balls, but you can't just say, well, they need to throw it deep more because then that's going to result in turnovers and interceptions. But there were times and there were little segments throughout the game where you're kind of wondering what Kendall Briles was doing. I know that I get really frustrated on 3rd and 1s or 4th and 1s when you have a 6'6" quarterback, and I know they don't snap under center quite often, but I just, in that situation, I think you just got to sneak it. And I've never understood, and this isn't just a Kendall Briles thing, but anyone that implores the spread offense or pistol offense or a shotgun offense, why they don't switch to that in these short yardage situations.
But you look at I think it was seven 3-and-outs, because you had the one that went basically 4-and-out. You had a 4-play 14. You got a first down on one play, and then you go 3-and-out to follow it. You might as well throw that in the same bucket. The drive lasted 1:19. Your second possession of the game results in a point. But look at the pure 3-and-outs in this game. 3 plays, 4 yards. You're not doing good enough on first and second. I mean, if you're putting yourself, you only got 4 yards on the drive. 3rd and 6 isn't going to cut it. 4th and 6 isn't going to cut it, rather. 3 plays, 5 yards. 3 plays, 5 yards. 3 plays minus a yard. The interception drive, 2 plays, 3 yards. You throw one that LSU returns to the 1-yard line. Another punt ending drive, 3 plays, 5 yards. So you start looking at these. There wasn't a lot of short yardage situations on the end of your downs, 3rd and 4th down. A lot of these, you just weren't good enough on 1st and 2nd down, it appears.
Arkansas was,
and not it appears, that's how it was when you watch the game.
Yeah, Arkansas was dominated on the time of possession, over 41 minutes for OSU, only 18-something and change for Arkansas. The Arkansas Razorbacks ran 53 plays. The LSU Tigers ran, I think, 91 was the statistic. So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's just frustrating to see how lopsided those categories were. And those don't necessarily they don't always correlate with wins and losses, but in this case, it was clearly the difference
more than they don't
in the football game. And that's for Sam Pittman. He was pretty vocal about fall in the game, that they couldn't stop him on 3rd down. They went 12 for 23 in the football game. And, again, that's a true freshman quarterback that was just able to carve you up at times. Give TJ Finley credit. He had a pretty good ball game. I think he was 42, 2 touchdowns, over 250 passing yards. So give the young man credit. He came in, made some really good passes, really good sharp balls where he had to fit it into tight windows. Now, Arkansas didn't have their full lineup up front. We've talked about that a little bit already. You miss Dorian Gerald, Julius Coates, Isaiah Nichols, Xavier Kelly, Eric Gregory, and Zach Williams, which is basically, outside of Jonathan Marshall, really the core of your defensive line. If not for Jonathan Marshall at least causing some pressures and wrecking some havoc up front, TJ Finley would have had 10 seconds to throw the ball every single play. And you tried a variety of different things on defense. You tried zone blitzes. You tried man blitzes. You tried dropping 8. And you just weren't able to stop and stymie consistently LSU's passing attack and their running attack. Sam Pittman said they just ran it down our throats, which is exactly what I would do when you're playing a much smaller defensive line with a group of young men that simply aren't ready for college football yet as true freshmen and sophomores.
No, and I thought in the final analysis, with everything you said there, put it all in the pot and you make the chili, knowing who you were missing on the defensive line, I thought they played actually better than you would probably expect to play against a team that's going to run it more and did run it more than they throw it. I thought, honestly, you got probably more than you should have expected. If you were expecting more, I'm sorry, but knowing how shorthanded Marshall and those guys that were left to man that front line, I thought they played pretty good under the circumstances.
Sam Pittman didn't want to make excuses after the game. He was asked about that, and he said, we had enough to play. We're going to play. And he wanted to make sure that there wasn't any excuses that were left after the game. And I know a lot of fans are frustrated with there are several officiating calls. There's really 3 that stood out to me. And I try to watch these over and over again as these highlights were up. There was a full game online on YouTube. And again, if you want to get in any point this morning, we are opening up the phone lines all morning. That's what we do here on a Hot Take Monday. It's 877-377-6963. We also have to talk about some positives for you Kansas City Chiefs fans, you Dallas Cowboys fans. You were pretty happy as Jenkins lets a very boisterous, happy sound in our studio.
Jubilation on a Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, and so they'll take.
They tried to lose it. They did all they could.
Yeah, they'll take on the Washington football team.
We won, didn't we?
They tried.
No, it's a win's a win, baby.
I was gonna say I might have to pick.
Proudly sporting his Dallas Cowboys shirt this morning.
Might have to pick the Dallas Cowboys. In my
he had it on
Survivor
Inside
League.
Out a week ago. The last about the last month.
I thought he burned all of it.
Yeah.
But again, we'll get into that stuff. There's stuff going on with the Auburn basketball team. They have given their own self-imposed sanctions. A lot to talk about this morning. Again, 877-377-6963.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagle's Nest is coming in hot.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is. We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
That would be my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and apparently she's still eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
Oh, what was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Okay. And did I mention every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan? It's happening again.
Dad, hang up the phone.
Toyotathon is on now. Come in today. Tell your mom.
During Toyotathon, qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months or a total bonus of $2,750 on a new 2021 Toyota Tundra Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever occurs first. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/30/20.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith or Jim Malum in Charleston about Shelter's home insurance.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Craft.
Frank's going to keep it on an option. Cuts at the 10 to the 5. Leaps for the goal line. Now they're saying touchdown.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Taking your calls all morning on a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV, 877-377-6963. When it comes to this Arkansas-LSU game, I know there's going to be plenty of opinions, plenty of discussion, as there were with several Morning Rush listeners that I was watching the game with on Saturday. We are brought to you by World of Wireless this morning.
Had a good time being with Ben and his staff last Thursday here on the Morning Rush. They're celebrating 25 years. If you want a better TV setup for Thanksgiving and having what family you're going to be able to have over, what family's willing to come over, whatever your situation is, hey, make the move to Dish. If you'll call today, they can have you installed before Turkey Day, 877-305-DISH. When you sign up now, you get a Google Home Hub that they'll give you and bring at installation. Also, you'll get a $100 Visa gift card that they'll get you set up for as well, that you can spend any way you want for the holidays. Dish has the greatest equipment in this industry. So if you want something you can control from your phone when you're not at home, watch TV on the go. That's the thing I like about Dish. Now I can watch live TV on my phone from wherever I'm at, as long as I've got LTE or 4G or whatever, or internet service. I can watch my TV at home on my phone. That's pretty cool, too. So get all those great features and benefits with a call to World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH.
Going to the phone lines, welcoming in Miss Lisa in Northeast Arkansas. Miss Lisa, you're on the Morning Rush.
Well, thank you for taking my call, and I'll be real short. I agree with everything y'all said this morning. But why in the world do we have instant replay and still get it wrong? And I'm saying this for any team across the board. The fumble recovery by Fouché. Mm-hmm. Explain that one to me.
I have a hard the targeting, and we're going to get to the targeting a little bit later on.
No, I'm not talking about targeting. I'm talking about the fumble.
I understand. We're going to get to that one. I can explain the targeting a little bit more. Clearly, clear and immediate recovery doesn't mean what we think it means, because when someone's standing there holding the ball out of the pile, that to me seems like, I think you got to put the two words together, clear and immediate. Now, I don't have the answer, but I'm going to tell you, the only thing I can come up with as to why they made that decision is there's not a great angle as to what happened to that ball once it went into that pile past the fumble. That's the only thing I can logically tell you, but I don't have an answer to tell you, well, here's why they did what they did, because you're right. Fouché comes out there holding it up like a prize, like So
well,
I'm with you.
I'm with you. Matt Stinchcomb said on the air. If you were watching the game, he
after
said,
further review,
goodness.
although the ball was clearly fumbled, there was no clear recovery of the ball, so the ruling on the field stands.
Oh, wow. I don't know how that's possible. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you're going, not again. Not again. Because this is the end of the Auburn game. No clear recovery. Joe Fouché, number 7, for Arkansas, comes in, rakes this ball out. There's no clear recovery. I don't know how that's possible. Look who comes out of the pile with the football. It's clearly Arkansas's ball. That's a really bad call. I mean, there's no other way to describe it.
Okay, Tom, explain that.
I just said a second. I don't have an explanation for that.
Well, I do. I have an explanation. And when they have when they do this Birmingham SEC week or whatever, SEC days or whatever the thing's called, can anybody drive down there? Yes. Can anybody drive down there for a vacation and go to that?
If you want a vacation in Birmingham, be my guest.
Well, I'm going to go, and I'm going to tear the place down. Thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate the call, Miss Lisa. Yeah, now, I will say you did jinx Arkansas because you said, no, there's not going to be another clear and immediate covery situation.
I didn't say that.
We both said that. It's okay.
I didn't say there would not be another one.
We both said that. It's okay. It's okay to admit both our faults. But earlier in the year, after the Auburn game, we said, well, Arkansas is not going to be in another situation where there's a clear and immediate recovery call. What are the odds? We both said that. It's okay. I'm just messing with you. But that being said, this is I don't get the difference. Here's what I'm confused at. Was Joe's recovering the Auburn game not like both plays? Joe Fouché's got to be just livid this morning. Not just this morning, but following the game, because he recovered the football in the Auburn game. He stripped the football and recovered it in the LSU game. What is the
Okay, let me and I don't know this to be the answer. I haven't talked to any of the replay people that not in the SEC, but just people that do this. But I have talked to an on-field official that here was his thoughts too, and I'm just taking comparing the two, Auburn versus this, and this is just me talking. In the Auburn game, you had clear recovery, but not immediate recovery. Okay, because he jumped on the ball and it squirted out, so therefore it's not immediate. We think it is in our minds the way we realize it or bottom line it as fans, but he didn't immediately recover it because he had to go. When you have to go back for seconds, that's not immediate. It just isn't. In this case, he may have had immediate recovery, but it wasn't clear because of video. That's how I'm trying to put it together. If you ask me to explain why they did what they did, that's the best I can do. This one to me was more frustrating than the targeting call. This one to me because Fouché's standing there. Now, as Arkansas fans, as Arkansas followers, we're frustrated because we got the Auburn game still on our mind the way that ended. We really have to separate those two, but we can't. We're emotionally invested, so we're not going to be able to do that. But really, one has nothing to do with the other, even though that we know it does. But that's the only way I think I can explain it is you had clear recovery but not immediate at Auburn, and you had probably immediate but not clear in this game. Because let's be honest, that video shot of how that ball became Fouché's, it's not real clear in the video. But we know he clearly comes out of there. Now, that part is clear. He's holding the ball up and has the ball when he comes out of the pile. But you're left to wonder what happened. How did that occur? That you can't really see. There's no question there was a fumble. It's a little fuzzy about what happened between fumble and Fouché out of the pile, right?
So you're just saying that like you feel like he could have stolen the ball from an LSU player who might have had it? Is that what you're?
I'm just saying there's no video to really show what happened is all I'm saying.
Well, if you're Joe Fouché, and again, every Arkansas fan listening, you've got to be really frustrated as far as that goes, how that occurred, how that ended. And if you remember, Arkansas did get a fumble on that drive, but it was not in the LSU part of the field. If Joe recovered, or if they would have given it to Joe, it would have been on LSU side of the field, but it was on Arkansas side of the field when they forced another turnover.
Hey, is your home in Arkansas at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? They have a no-cost program that can increase your comfort and lower your bills. They have trained crews that do energy audits at no cost, and if your home qualifies, they'll come back with attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, smoke alarms, and a whole lot more to make your home more efficient and more comfortable for you. Call OG&E today, 1-800-272-9741. Ask about the home weatherization program, 800-272-9741.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Born in Arkansas, designed in the Swiss Alps, and field tested all over the world, Canis Tactical Hunting Gear will allow you to hunt longer, farther, and in more comfort than ever before. Whether you are hunting early or late season whitetails, chasing greenheads in the timber, or stalking elk in the west, our layering system has you covered. We're a direct-to-consumer company, so shop our website at canisathlete.com and use the code Arkansas to receive 15% off your first order. Follow us on social at Canis Athlete for updates and new product launches. Be the wolf.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine & Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine & Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine & Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that we are here for you. During this uncertain time, let us take the wheel and get your car repaired so you are ready to roll when the time comes. We offer pickup and delivery and will sanitize your vehicle during your complimentary detail that is done with all repairs. Don't want to get out at all? We have you covered. We offer a mobile estimating tool that allows you to take a few pictures and we will email or text your estimate directly to you. Check out our website or Facebook for more details.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Franks to throw. Wanting to go deep. He's got a man wide open at the 35. Complete. That's Burks. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. Burks is going to score. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
Loaded up phone lines this morning. Your calls, your texts. Also some quick hitting headlines at 877-377-6963 on a hot Take Monday.
It's brought to you by the all-new Wills RV in Northwest Arkansas. Get out and explore with all the best brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. Hey, they have lifetime warranties on every new unit, plus a mobile service shuttle, so you can know that Wills is there for you to help keep your RV like new year after year. Wills RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wills RV.
Want to first go to Texarkana and welcome in William into the program. William, you're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, morning, guys. So I know y'all are going to spend an extensive amount of time this morning talking about officiating and the disappointment from that end of it, but I'm going to take it out to something else here. We played a really talented football team. LSU is a good team. That Finley kid played lights out, freshman or not. He looked composed in the pocket. And they've got talent at other positions. Terrence Marshall killed it. But that punter, I don't remember his name.
Zach Von Rosenberg.
The 35-plus Rosenberg boomed it all night for those guys. I can't tell you. It seemed like every time on offense we were dealing with a 90, 95-yard drive. Yeah. And credit the offense for taking advantage when they could. And, you know, I go to that drive in maybe it was the third or fourth quarter, I can't remember, but we were up 21-20. And we started with a 95-yard plus field. Briles dials up some great plays. We get down there. They don't call the touchdown, so we have first and goal at the 2. We've got to be able to score a touchdown in that situation. We're playing a team like that. You can't rely on 3 points, go up 24-20. I know that's a conservative thing to do, but you've got to find a way to punch it in. And, you know, Kendall, that's what you pay the big bucks for, man. We got to find a way to take advantage in those situations. But their special teams and our inability to score in the red zone really cost us. I think that was really – more so than officiating, in my opinion, was why we lost that game. All right, guys, I'll hang up and listen.
Thanks, William. And to your point, average starting field position for the game for Arkansas was at the Arkansas 18-yard line. So you started out on average inside your 20, but for the second half, it was the 10 because your third quarter field position averaged the 7 on the 3 minutes and 26 seconds you had, and Ty was 16 yards, Arkansas 16-yard line in the fourth quarter. So your field position in the second half was even worse, far worse than when you compare to the first half average of the 19 and the 26 in the first and second quarter. So first half average was the 22. Second half average was the Arkansas 10. Williams spot on, the punter for LSU.
I was playing backup quarterback at practice last week.
Averaged 48 yards a punt for that ball game. Just absolutely pinned Arkansas back time and time again.
Yeah, and I will say this, that if you want to take away one positive from special teams, Reed Brower had probably his best game to date, and he was kicking the ball about 47, 48 yards. So he was right behind Zach as far as that goes. But, again, special teams, a miscue cost you the football game. Back to the phone lines, 877-377-6963. Going to Lincoln. Now, Brad, are you in Lincoln, Arkansas, or Lincoln, Nebraska?
No, Lincoln, Arkansas.
Okay, well, welcome in this morning.
Hey, thanks a lot for taking my call, guys. Hey, I'm going to be real short and sweet. Hey, number one, the fact that we're even talking about this and concerned about all this is awesome because last year, at this point in time, wouldn't have given a crap. I mean, we were all just checked out at this point in time. So just the fact that we're happy about to talk about this is great. I want to know on this officiating thing, the targeting, I can understand. Catalon plays safety. He's going to hit hard. He's going to be in the middle of those all the time. I mean, he's got to learn to dial it back just a hair. But here's the thing. So was clear and immediate recovery, was that a new focus this year? Because we've never heard of this before. And we have fumble things happen from high school to college to NFL 100 times a week. And there's always the ball comes out, there's a scrum, there's a pile. Whoever comes up with it, hey, it's their ball. And it's never even a thing. But now in 2 separate games, we've had the same type of thing happen, and it's come down to a clear and immediate recovery. And I just want to know if it's something new because I've never heard about it before this year. So anyway, I appreciate you taking my call. I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Brett, thanks for the call. No, it's not new. There were some tweaks after the Auburn game, or not, some revisions in some of the guidance given to replay officials. But no, that's been part of the replay rules since replay was put in. And just like everything else, it evolves a little bit over time. But there have been major changes with that. We're likely the only state and the only fan base that even used the words clear and immediate recovery this season. I mean, there's just a stigma and obviously something attached to that now in 2 ball games for Arkansas. So we've gotten way too cozy with the phrase and the words because we've had 2 situations where we've had to learn what it means because that phrase, which is right out of the replay rules, has been twice used in rulings that went against you. So it certainly has a stigma with this fan base. Probably if you went and asked a Georgia fan or an A&M fan about clear and immediate recovery, they wouldn't even resonate with them. So
what tweaks did they make?
They just some guidance and some. It wasn't a rule change. It was just some guidance that they gave in one of their weekly updates after the Auburn game.
Do you know what you don't remember what those were?
I don't have them in front of me. No.
Jenkins, will you do that and look that up for us real quick,
man?
You
can look it up, but I don't think you're going to find it.
Tucker and Sherwood was asking. He's asking if they got rid of the immediate element following the recovery.
That'd be a rule change. So they didn't make a change in the rules. They just gave some more additional guidance to the replay officials on how to rule on these plays.
Let's get into some quick headlines coming up, and we will get back to the phones. Again, it's 877-377-6963. So we've talked about a lot of negatives this morning with the Arkansas loss, but how about the Cowboys?
Lamb went in motion. Dalton looking end zone. He throws. Touchdown. Wide open is the tight end, Dalton Schultz. The Cowboys take the lead. How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Hey, you can definitely hop in on this because you're actually sporting some Cowboys gear.
Well, I found this in the back corner of my closet. I got rid of everything else.
Everything else has been got burn holes in it.
Burned the Zeke jersey. Burned my custom. It was a good win last night. I was not pleasantly expecting it, and when I was watching it, they jumped out to a 6-0 lead and then just kind of trickled away, and I turned it off and started watching a different game, but flipped it over there.
You said, "Oh no, here it comes again."
That's what I was thinking, but I turned it over right at the right time and saw Schultz score the game-winning touchdown. So, big-time win, and Andy Dalton proved – he's not the difference in the team, but, you really saw him really improve, and C.D. Lamb is fighting for Rookie of the Year, I think.
He looked like that Pro Bowler a little more, didn't he?
Looked like the Pro Bowl Andy Dalton that we've seen. C.D. Lamb played out of his mind again, and I know Pollard played really well for you, and I know you told me this morning it knocked another guy out of y'all's Survivor League.
We've got 8 left in our Survivor League, and there's quite a cash cow at the end of the rainbow. So we'll see what happens.
Are you one of the survivors?
Have you picked the Cowboys yet?
I have yet to pick the Cowboys, and I'm probably not going to pick them against the Washington football team this week because it's a rivalry game and it's Thanksgiving.
No, that's too much of a toss-up.
Yeah, so it's only 3. I think it's Cowboys.
3-win team versus 2-win team.
Cowboys,
exactly right.
Cowboys are only favored by 3 in that matchup. So, but I am happy for you.
If they play like that, they could easily hang with the Washington football team.
Yeah,
what was that first word you said though?
Hang.
No, before that.
If.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
that was
you.
the one.
That's the correct word.
Hey, I'm gonna bask in the glory for today.
So you Cowboys fans are happy, and you Kansas City Chiefs fans are happy as well.
First down goal to go at the 3-yard line. Chiefs down 7-0. Little crisscross action in the backfield. Pass left. Tyreek Hill. The touchdown machine. Touchdown, Kansas City. And the Chiefs answer the Raiders' touchdown with one of their own. Snake eyes for Carr on that final roll of the dice, while Mahomes tonight rolling 7s for most of the roll. And it's like my granddaughters say,
And that old song, the wheels on the bus go round and round. The Chiefs have won 13 of the last 16 against their rivals and split this game, or split the series this season. Plus, it opens up a 3-game lead in the AFC West with 6 games to go. Final score, the Chiefs get the victory, 35-31 over the Raiders.
You can always hear the Kansas City Chiefs games here on ESPN 95.3 and ESPN 104.3 as we are the home of the Kansas City Chiefs. You heard from Mitch Holthus there. The combination of both Mitch Holthus and Brett Musburger, who is now the play-by-play for the Oakland Raiders, it's
like
tough
his
to
dream job to retire to is being in Vegas. I mean, when they moved that team to Vegas, he probably paid them for the job.
Because he's also doing sports radio for Vegas Sports, and I think it's Information Network, but it's pretty cool to see that. So those are some good news this weekend. As far as this weekend comes up against Missouri, Saturday, 11 a.m., Hogs open as 2-point underdogs against the Tigers. And you've not only have you lost the last 2 games, you've also failed to cover these last 2 games, which I know for you betting people out there has been quite a bummer. And then the other thing that'll kind of round up our quickening headlines this morning. Tommy, did you see that Auburn has self-imposed a postseason ban on the men's basketball team?
Yeah, no tournament and no barbecues for Auburn's basketball program. So
I found this interesting because you don't know necessarily what's going to happen with postseason this year.
This may be a bunch of nothing right now.
It's the ongoing stuff with what was happening with I think it's a former Auburn Tiger, Chuck Person, fall of 2017. So Bruce Pearl said this was a difficult decision, but the right decision. I hate it for our current players. And this includes former West Memphis, I don't know what their mascot is, Chris Moore, who elected to go. Who elected to go to Auburn. So that's kind of big news coming out of the SEC basketball front.
Yep, and does that make the regular season, whatever that becomes, ultra important? Winning the SEC championship, winning the regular season title, maybe the conference tournament title, paramount to Auburn? Whatever they can compete in, or it's basically just a year off. What's their approach going to be when there is no NCAA tournament to play for? And I guess they would be out of the SEC tournament if I think about it, because I don't think you can compete in that if you're not going to play for the NCAA tournament. I think I'm right about that. I think there's been teams in the past in this situation, and they just, when they're on probation, they don't compete in the conference tournament, or that has been that way in the past, at least.
Speaking of tournaments, Arkansas lost their 5th straight SEC championship in soccer this weekend. It was kind of 3-1 to Vandy. They were up 1-0, and then Vandy scored 3 straight goals.
Lost to South Carolina last year. It's amazing they've been in the title,
the
tournament
Buffalo
title
Bills
game. Yeah, they can't
Super
get
Bowls.
over the hump.
So.
And they're generally the considered favorite, or have been certainly this year, as the number 6 team in the country and regular season champs. And all, so it's kind of disappointing to see them not be able to finally get that done down there on Orange Beach.
Yep. Bobby Portis signed with the Milwaukee Bucks, and I think it was a 2-year deal with the player team option for the 2nd year. And then, unfortunately, we saw former LSU Tiger and current Cincinnati Bengal Joe Burrow tear his ACL against the Washington football team. And those are your quick hitting headlines on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Trinity Multifamily. If you own apartment complexes, condos, rental property, great investments, now make a great decision by calling our friends at Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, all the services you need to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and the frustrations out of ownership with a call to Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817, or you can go online to read more at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Opening back up the phone lines, going to Ron, who's in Fort Smith. Ron, you're on the Morning Rush.
Good morning. Do you remember in the last 6 or 8 years, Arkansas had a 6'10" lineman they would put in on extra points and field goals?
Dan Skipper.
And he blocked more than one extra point and more than one field goal, but he also caused the other team to alter their kicks on field goals. And he was from Denver, Colorado, I think.
Yeah, Dan Skipper.
Dan Skipper.
Yeah, Dan Skipper was his name.
Yeah, Dan Skipper, that's him, yep. I'm just wondering why Arkansas doesn't get another 6'10" guy and put him in for the same reason.
Dalton Wagner would be maybe his...
He's 6'9".
Close a guy.
And I'm pretty sure I asked. In fact, I'm almost 99% sure, Ron, that I asked Sam Pittman about that in the offseason, about putting Dalton in that position, because I don't think you blocked a kick yet this year. and you
right.
had one blocked, obviously, against LSU. Have you gotten another one blocked this year? Am I making that up?
You've had some block, but what we're talking about is being able to block.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like you've had some blocked, but you haven't blocked any.
Right.
So why not
Sure.
use your guy who's 6'9" and take advantage of his size and
Put
stature?
him in the middle. Maybe it's just low enough, and his arms are just long enough. Yeah.
A 6'10" guy would certainly be worth one scholarship, and he caused the other team to alter their field goals. He may not have blocked more than one or so, but he caused them to alter their field goal attempts. He'd certainly be worth a scholarship.
Yeah. No, you've got a good point, and Skipper was certainly handy on special teams just from that angle. In addition to being a great offensive lineman.
Yes.
Well,
I thank you very much.
Absolutely,
thank you for
Ron.
the call.
Appreciate the call. I think the most evident example of Dan Skipper's presence on the special teams has to be the TCU game in 2016, where TCU was set to win that football game. He blocks it right before overtime, and Arkansas is able to escape with the win. Back to the phone lines, going to Rod on I-40. Rod, you're on the Morning Rush.
Good morning, guys. Yay, Dallas won. I don't get to say it very much, so I'll say it one time. Our defense did really good considering all the pieces we had out. The referees, they really screwed both teams. I'll just call them abused children, right? But I don't know about the plays we're calling on offense. I never was much of one to change formations from shotgun to in the pocket. And I believe that's a tip. It really is. You can try to mislead people with that, but at the end of the day, gimmicks don't work really good. Get them in one formation, but don't call the same play over and over and over again, because if it ain't working, there's a word for that. Keep trying it. But what do you guys think?
In terms of Kendall Briles' play calling, is that what you're asking about, Rod?
Yeah. There's some little bit. I got a few question marks in my mind. Not real.
I mean, I think everyone was frustrated with it after the game, but I mean, the offensive line just didn't get a push. We talked about how really they've been moving the football, 200-plus rushing yards in the last 3 games. I mean, you watched that football game, offensive line didn't block anyone in terms of running. They didn't block anyone, and they only had a little over 100 yards rushing. T.J. Hammonds had that long run in the fourth quarter. Outside of that, you didn't have anything. Yeah. It was a giant step backwards from where you'd been the last 3 games running the football. Pass blocking is pretty good. I think it was just they gave up 1 or 2 sacks in that football game, but that run blocking was terrible, awful.
Yeah.
I mean,
What happened?
I mean, that's a good question. Give credit to Bo Pelini and LSU, but I mean they still have good defensive linemen. I know they've had those over the years. I mean, LSU's had. I mean, you think about Glenn Dorsey, you think about Marcus Spears, you think about Arden Key. I mean, there's just keep them going and going. I don't know which particular guy is going to be a standout on this team, but I couldn't get a push. That's what it came down to. And then everyone's like, well, you got to do it. Well, you can't throw the ball if there's no pressure of getting beat by the run. And yes, they had some good passes. Felipe ended up going for over 300 passing yards and threw a couple bombs, but I mean, you have to be balanced in this league, and they didn't have any balance on Saturday, and that's one of the reasons, Rod, they weren't able to sustain drives.
Yeah, and change those cleats if it's raining and you're on grass. I'm just saying, you got an equipment guy with a wrench there. Give the man a little more traction, because he wasn't the only one falling down.
Yeah, that's one of the drawbacks. Thanks for the call, Rod. Of the natural turf, it looks great, and there's some certain, I think, long-term benefits to knee and foot and some of those injuries maybe that maybe you avoid, but that's where field turf might have been more advantageous, as we've seen, when Arkansas had it in the past and then switched back over a couple of years ago to natural grass. You saw the turf monster get a couple tackles on Saturday, and one on Felipe.
And not just one on Arkansas. I mean,
no,
LSU
it was both
slipped
ways. It was both ways. But you saw the one that sticks out is the one where Felipe is running to his left, headed towards the north end zone in the red zone, and slips and falls. That was frustrating.
Yeah, it had to be, and I just think again you should have punched it in when you went up 24-20. You gotta punch in that touchdown at that point. Like you can't. Not to say they should have gone for it. That's not what I'm advocating for. But you have to get a touchdown in that situation. I know a guy that was really frustrated with the outcome of the game is Mr. Eddie in Clarksville. As we go to you, Eddie, you're on the morning rush, man.
Good morning, gentlemen. And I'd like to take an opportunity to wish you gentlemen a very happy Thanksgiving with your families.
Thank you.
Along with this great fan base, happy Thanksgiving to you. But when you look at this game, when you look at the analytics of it, you can say, well, we were on our worst enemy. You look at 0 for 10 on third down. You're talking about special teams killed us more than anything, and you just touched on it, Tommy. And on kickoffs, we let the ball roll inside the 10-yard line. I don't know who this special teams coach is. Sir, you're fired. It's been all year long on special teams. It gets worse. And the last seconds of the game, we're trying to kick a field goal. Hindsight's 20/20. I don't have any faith in our field goal kicking ability. I'm not knocking them, but, why not go? You had nothing to lose. Why not go for it? But we let a defender come in unblocked, and he got fingertips on it. That can't happen. And so that's why I say the special teams, Coach Pippen needs to address that and get that cleaned up. Then you look at time of possession. You cannot let an opponent have the ball. You can say, don't break defense, but LSU had the ball 41 minutes. I think we had it 18 or 19. That will not get it done. But miraculously, we should have won this game. But when you talk about integrity of the game, I've seen it many times in this league. This ain't the first time. The SEC is the greatest conference, no doubt about it, in America. They put more players in the NFL. They get more primetime ratings than any conference in America. But when it comes to officiating games, you need to do some homework, and you need to get it cleaned up. And I tell Greg Sagan, you can't acknowledge a problem till you acknowledge you have a problem. The 3 calls, the fumble recovery in the first half. That's twice we got Hogs this year, and it's given back to the opponent. I'm scratching my head. Even the announcer saying it into America, it's a clear fumble, and for that ref to go to the sideline and take 30 minutes and watch it and come back out and say it's not a clear recovery? Are you kidding me? You need to drink some coffee, sir, and define integrity to you. It's a clear and consistent being honest and bringing integrity to the football field, and you didn't do it, sir. So, shame on you. And talk about the last play of the game. The personal foul called. A player fell down. Their defender fell over our player. Cost us 10 or 15 yards. Who knows? Hindsight's 20/20. We might have been a little closer making a field goal. They got to get it cleaned up. But if you're wearing red and white in the SEC, you're going to get hold. So, Mark Corrales, I said it Saturday night, you're the ref that hosts us, and you, sir, are to be reprimanded just like the refs were in the game in 2009. The whole play was suspended, and you need to be reprimanded.
Hey, is it Curls or Corrales? Because I heard.
Curls.
Are we sure? Because I heard Zarger saying the
I've
broadcast.
Heard it I haven't heard it. How do you say it? Corrales? It's not Corrales.
He said Taylor Zarger, who's on call for the SC Network, said Corrales, not Curls.
Yeah, it's Curls. It's always been Mark Curls for the 15 years he's refereed in the league. Hey, Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in Northwest Arkansas. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction, you want to be home at nights with your family, you can work with a great company that does great things for their employees, like great pay, great benefits, and a great team environment with room to move up, growth opportunities within the company. Apply online and do it today, jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
We will get into those calls coming up. Tom Murphy joins us at 7:20.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Assurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, an office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations on Burrow Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to wholehogfortsmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are open with limited seating until further notice. They're open 11 till 6 Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance, and Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today, or high this afternoon in the mid to upper 50s. Cloudy to partly cloudy skies tonight. The overnight low will drop to near 40. We'll see an increasing chance of showers and a slight chance of a few thunderstorms on Tuesday. Highs 60 north, mid 60 south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hertz Car Sales. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard. Call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
And the boot will stay in Baton Rouge. LSU has won what, Quinn, I got to say is the toughest loss so far this season for the Razorbacks. LSU comes away with a 27-24 win. The boos are for the referees as they're running to their locker room. They're not booing the Razorbacks. They're booing the striped-shirted guys.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 2 of the Morning Rush. Tom Murphy set to join us in about 20 minutes. Your calls, your text at 877-377-6963 on a Hot Take Monday.
Yeah, it's brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. All the top brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the new solar-powered Vibe are at Wheels RV. Plus, they have a mobile service shuttle. By the way, they give you a lifetime warranty on every new unit, so relax and know your RV is going to stay like new year after year. It's at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
I don't know what else a defender can do right there.
Turned his whole body as he made that tackle.
And Boutte is going to the ground. Other than just avoid the receiver entirely, I don't know what else he can do.
Further review, the ruling of targeting is confirmed.
Wow.
Number 1 is disqualified. 50-yard penalty for the spot of the catch. First down.
I don't get it.
There was probably 3 calls in this football game. Maybe you had gripes. Maybe you're angry with a few more, but it was that, the tripping call on Traylon Smith, which I've watched about 50 times, and I still to this day will not understand why that was called in that situation, and then the clear and immediate recovery. I'll let you start this.
Well, where do you want me to start? With
Callahan.
which call? With this call? Okay.
Yeah.
If let's take the argument. Let's not talk about the call. Let's talk about the rule. Okay. Can we do that? Because I sent you, I sent Phil, I sent Jenkins, I sent Matty T, all screenshots of the rule, and you've got them. So I want you to read what it is. He didn't lead with the crown of his helmet. So there's 2 parts of the targeting rule. I think this is really important. We all understand this. You don't lead with the crown of the helmet, but you can also not hit a defenseless player. A receiver in that situation, by definition, is a defenseless player. Read the part of the targeting rule and what you can't do as a defender. And I think it's just important. Let's not talk about the play. Let's talk about what the rule of the game is.
Trying to find. I pulled it up. I'm trying to find that specific part. No player shall target or make forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent with the helmet, forearm, hand, fist, elbow, or shoulder. Foul at least requires that there be one indicator of targeting. That what you wanted?
Did that occur? That's all I'm at. On this play, if you watch the video back, and we take the Arkansas jerseys off here, and we're just looking at football, what what do you see?
I mean, I'm watching Hunter Yurachek.
What do you see?
What Hunter Yurachek put out, and to me, if you want to, I mean, at some point you're going to touch, like, even players touch each other's helmets all the time, and even in like big, like, I don't know what Jalen, and I said this earlier. I said this when he got tossed out of the Auburn game, and I think these are two different, because you can tell he's been coached up to not lead with his helmet. As you heard from Matt Stitchcomb, completely contorts his body, completely does that. You can tell he takes his helmet out of the equation. Like you said, what is he supposed to do in that situation?
It's very difficult because the player, and I think also you heard Stinchcomb in the call there, the LSU receiver is on his way down. Now, you know, you can say, well, you can assume, what if he goes back to, what if he doesn't go down? What if he gets back up? What, you know, you can what if about any situation all day long. But that's also something that I think you have, particularly if you're a player like Catalon, and now that he's got two, and that the third targeting foul in this season would be a full game suspension, because that is also the rule. We'll get more into that later on, that if this happens again past the first half of this week's Missouri game, it won't be a half or the rest of that game, or what, you know, depending on first or second half. He'll be gone the rest of that one and the next game. For the rest of this season, and even in a bowl game would extend into the next season. So those are some things that I don't know what Barry Odom tells him. I don't know what, but you have to, and I know it's split second. You've committed your body. You are trying to make the stop, but it's, again, avoiding the contact in the head or neck area. And the difficulty is you got a falling receiver. And I'm with you. I don't think Catalan was trying to hit him in the head or neck area. But he comes in, and if you slow the video down and you look, there is a forearm and elbow that come into the head and neck area. And we don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the outcome, just like you. But if you read what it says, and then you watch, and then you read, and you watch and you read, that's exactly what happened.
It's very minimal.
Well, but
it's
like being minimally. I mean, it's forcible contact in the head or neck area.
If you're coming to that discussion, it is very minimal at best. If you want to come from that angle,
I'm not coming from an angle. I'm just. That's why I sent you a copy of it. This isn't. Well, I think this isn't a defense of something.
I'm not arguing.
I mean, the rule is what the rule is.
I'm not arguing the rule. What I'm arguing is that if you're going to say that it's up there, it's. I mean, I don't. What is Jalen supposed to do? He's what, 5'8"? 5'9"? Well, he's already low to begin with. The dude is sliding, and you're saying, well, hey, he should. What happens
I'm not saying anything.
No. But what you're saying is he has to make the decision to let that go, because this is what we talked about this morning. You can't make that decision in 1 second. It's a slant route.
No, it's not even a second.
It's a slant route, and he's either got. What happened? Let me ask you this, because if we're coming from that perspective, and again, I'm not arguing the rule because we've been over this, but what I'm asking, if you say, well, he's got to make the decision to let that go, what happens if Bouye, or whatever the heck his name is, decides and somehow, some way gets back on his feet, takes that slant route 40 more yards to the house? And the reason that Arkansas gives up a touchdown on that drive is because Jalen Catalon, despite doing almost everything possible, turning his body, not hitting helmet to helmet, doing everything again, and you throw a kid out for that? And you still haven't changed that rule? It's been changed in the NFL? I mean, this is what I was talking about last time. This is why you should not get tossed for that. That is the heart and soul of your defense. And you throw them out for that? Like, golly. Like, I just, like, again, I'm not mad at you. I hate Mark Curls, not because necessarily that's
the other thing.
Even though he didn't make that call.
We got to understand, the replay booth made this decision, not the on-the-field official.
I mean, here's what Sam Pittman had to say about Jalen Catalon and him being really the heart and soul of this football team.
You know, the game's a lot about confidence and belief and things of that nature. And obviously you want to play your best players, you know. But he brings such a confidence, such an aura, you know, around him. He affects the team positively, maybe even more than his play. You know, obviously he's a really good player and things of that nature, and it's very seldom you might say a redshirt freshman is a leader, but he is. And so it affects you, obviously, in a lot of areas, skill-wise, playability, communication. and the fact that our players believe in him.
I knew as soon as he was ejected, they were going to score on that drive. Whatever committee needs to come together by season's end and somehow, some way change this rule. Not the rule itself, but they need to amend it where there's either a first penalty, 15 yards, or just do something. What occurred
I think what you're saying is very
what
reasonable.
occurred on Saturday is unacceptable.
Yeah.
There's not a soul wearing purple and gold or Razorback red or anyone who was just watching that game that thought, you know what, Jalen Catalon was trying to take that dude's head off. He needs to be tossed. Inexcusable what occurred on Saturday.
All right, we'll continue this conversation plus your phone calls coming up. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of every day. Burton's has 28 different hot spring spa models to choose from, some with salt water, different seating arrangements, different jet packages. You're going to love the selection at Burton Pools and Spas. Plus, they're energy efficient, well-constructed. You'll get a better night's sleep, ease muscle pain, reduce stress. A lot of great benefits to a hot spring spa. Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, your source for backyard fun.
We'll get to your calls on the other side of the break, plus welcome in Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagles Nest is coming in hot.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is.
Perfect. I'm getting a head start on my list for Santa.
Well, we've got great year-end deals on Camry, Highlander, RAV4, Tacoma, and more at your participating Toyota dealer.
What else you got?
Let's see. There's also Corolla, Highlander, Tundra. Oh, and we have a great selection of hybrid vehicles. Camry Hybrid, Highlander Hybrid.
Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. What kind of toys you got? Video games, stuffed animals, sea monkeys, you know, the good stuff.
It's actually Toyotathon, not Toyotathon. We have great deals on vehicles, not toys. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Well, okay, then what can I get for $5?
Oh, well,
During Toyotathon, get $1,500 total bonus, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Tacoma Special Edition for $199 a month for 24 months with $999 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/30/20.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7. RandallFord.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
Craving prime rib this morning? Hardee's introduces the new prime rib and fried egg biscuit. We took tender prime rib and put it on a fluffy made-from-scratch biscuit. Yeah, that's right. We made prime rib for breakfast. Premium, juicy, sliced prime rib for breakfast. And then we
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Frank Pro Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th, and 6:30 to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper reclining sofa in Love, regular $22.50, on sale, finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses on sale. 3 days only at Frank Roll Furniture. Super Black Friday sale. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling Wow World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, "The sweetest fruits of life come from serving others." And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Ballard in the pocket, throws it up over the top, right on the flat side. A breakaway, Colby Hamilton. 10-5, can you believe it?
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
Going to talk to Tom Murphy, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog coming up in just 1 second, as well as get to a few of your calls here this morning, as it is a Hot Take Monday.
Yeah, we're also brought to you by Family Dental Care of Fort Smith. If you have sleep apnea, if you have a CPAP machine that you use to make sure you have proper breathing throughout the night, if you're tired of the noise, you're tired of traveling with that and how the difficulties of that can be, certainly going through airports with a CPAP machine and just the constant cleaning, it's a hassle. You need to call our friend Dr. Bo Sparkman, 479-785-1419. He can build you a custom dental appliance that can replace your CPAP machine. So if you have sleep apnea or your wife is always telling you your snoring is horrendous at night, she's sleeping in another room, whatever your situation is, call Dr. Bo. He's treated hundreds of patients just like you with your same circumstance. 479-785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
First, I want to welcome in Ben in Fayetteville into the conversation. Ben, you're on the Morning Rush, man.
Ty, you're on fire this morning, man. I think it's hilarious. It made my day. I just got me a cup of coffee. Here's what I'm seeing here. Your rant is as good as like a teenage girl trying to talk her mom into a new iPhone. I love it, man. But
does she win? That's the question.
But here's the thing. So if you're ranting this much about some referees' calls and an ejection, I haven't heard you bring up the fact that the refs gave Arkansas a call with that touchdown pass in the corner to their running back for LSU. And I also have not heard you bring up the fact, or I want to listen into the show, where you rant about Arkansas not converting on, 11 third downs?
10.
Because if this is the rant for the refs, and Tommy, I feel sorry for you because you're the ref and you represent every ref in America. I get the same thing. I was in the military, so anytime the military does anything stupid, everybody calls me and wants my opinion. But I can't wait for the section on the show where you rant about the third down conversions, because it's got to be better than this, man. It's got to be.
Well, Ben,
and I hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving.
You too, man.
Ben,
If you listen to the majority of the show, I actually did go on a rant. I mean, you can't go 0 for 10 on third downs. We opened the show with that, so we didn't even speak to the officiating in the first segment of the show. So I mean, that's I 100% agree on that. So you're not going to get any.
That was not at my request.
A displeasure as far as that, because it 100% is correct. The third down play calling and execution was horrendous. And as far as the pushback for me as that goes, that's fine. And I don't think, as far as that goes, I don't think I was taking, in our last conversation.
You were frustrated.
But I wasn't angry. I didn't necessarily start yelling and screaming and moaning at Mark Curls. What I said, I was angry at the rule,
you don't like the rule and the penalty that's attached.
So
to the
how
rule.
is that a shot at officiating? That's a shot at the rule itself.
You're frustrated with the state of the game when it comes to targeting, which is targeting. The targeting rules are a response to what? Concussions.
You try not to get people
and head
stretchers.
injuries.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's about the knowledge we have gained over the last 15 or 20 years, or however, whenever you want to confine that to a time period, about concussions and their long-term effects. So the targeting rules are a result of concussions.
Correct. And so I don't know what Ben was listening to that last segment, but I wasn't taking a shot at Mark Curls. I said I didn't like him, but I mean,
a lot of fans don't like him.
Yeah, I wasn't say I didn't say
and it seems like a lot of these controversial issues, there he is.
And I said once this show that the officiating cost Arkansas the game? Have you heard me say that one time?
Nope.
This show. Have you heard me say that off air?
Nope. You're frustrated.
Okay.
You're a little emotional
have
about
I said that cost Arkansas
I think you
the game?
represent what a lot of the listeners, how they feel about it right now.
But again, have I said that cost Arkansas the game? Have I said that one time? On air, off air? So I don't know. Ben is just listen, and again, officials, brotherhood, whatever, and obviously you have a better understanding. I don't know what Ben's been listening to this morning, because I really haven't been that hard on the officiating, because I think there's elements within that you can make sense for those calls. So I really don't. I don't have a good answer for Ben's call. So, and listen, if you think that,
well, I think his point is the lack of third down conversions, and I think you agree with this, should draw a similar rant or response or emotional response that the targeting call did, and we should be just as upset, maybe more upset. I think it was Ben's point. We should be even more upset about what Arkansas did to themselves offensively than anything involving officiating.
Well, listen, I want to apologize to Ben from Fayetteville that my displeasure and anger wasn't put in the right place this morning. Next time when they go 0 for 10 on third down, Ben, I will make sure to go on a full rant and talk. Even though that you said I hadn't talked about it to a single point, even though we opened up the segment,
the entire
first
show.
part of the show, talking about the offensive execution. So
the lack thereof.
It's weird. It's weird how sometimes you got to listen to the full show when you make a statement involving what we talk about.
We're on early.
That's why you
It's
listen to the
3
full
hours.
show.
Well, that's 3 hours. Well, not everybody can listen for 3 hours.
And that's
at 6
fine, but if
a.m.
you're going to make a statement saying, oh, y'all haven't done this morning, well, then don't come in here and say that crap when you don't actually know what's going on. Good grief.
Fair.
All right, let's go to Tom
And 0
Murphy.
for 10 was a bigger issue. So, do what? Do what, Jenkins?
You need a Snickers this morning or something?
Need Thanksgiving.
Lord.
Well,
Wow.
listen.
Needs a turkey leg.
Your face is red. You're getting blush over here.
I don't like when someone gets on air and says something for multiple false statements when they don't know what they're talking about. That's irritating to me, as you can tell. Jeez. All right, let's go to Tom Murphy here.
Tom, bring some sanity
on the
in there.
Morning Rush. Tom, good morning, man. Just kind of the question we asked our listeners this morning is why do you think the Hogs lost to LSU? And Ben brought up 0 for 10 on third down. If you had to pick out one selective data or one pointer play that you think stands out the most, why do you think Arkansas fell to the LSU Tigers on Saturday?
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm here to bring tranquility and serenity to the proceedings. There's a lot of data points you could go to, the third downs and LSU's third downs. I mean, they converted so many of their 13 out of 20 or 12 out of 23, whatever it was. They converted so many of them by a foot or a yard or maybe 2 yards, so many of them, because that was their game plan. I think the single biggest factor was their 2 weeks without a game, and they got basically 2 weeks of study on Arkansas, and they came up with a great offensive game plan. And they schemed them up defensively. They schemed them up. Arkansas couldn't get its run game going, and even though they hurt them with the big plays, they did not allow Arkansas to establish their run game. And it just so happens that Felipe Franks had one of his weaker games. I just think that in the course of the game, he made a few bad decisions, not getting enough air on the Trey Knox, or as he said, waiting one more second for Knox to be even further open. And then I think he should have given to Traylon Smith. I don't know who his guy he's looking at is on that option play down on the goal line early in the fourth quarter. But you saw Traylon Smith basically had clear sailing from the 5 down to the goal line. There was one guy, and you got to think that Traylon Smith, with one guy to just power through or wriggle past, would have scored that touchdown. So, it was just an unfortunate thing. Although they showed a lot of backbone, a lot of spirit, they came back from 17-7 down, got the lead. I think all in all, because of their COVID-19 numbers on the defensive front, it all just kind of added up to a very narrow loss. Just a heartbreaker, because you win that one and say they ruled correctly in the Auburn game, you could be sitting here at 5-3 right now. It's a little heartbreaking.
Yeah, and Tom, on the other, if you really want to do, you could be 5-3, but you could also be 0-8 based on how close some of these games have been. I'm just being honest. You've gotten some good fortune in some games and some bad fortune in others. But I think you brought up a good point that needs to be stressed. No Dorian Gerald, no Julius Coates, no Isaiah Nichols, no Xavier Kelly, no Eric Gregory, no Zach Williams. And I'm excited about the future of Deshad Stewart and some of these other guys, but Tom, they just got manhandled for the most part up front. Now, it could have been worse based on how many young guys they had to play, but you could tell the depth on the defensive line was a big issue all game, and LSU was able to get in a lot of third and manageables for T.J. Finley.
They really did. And, of course, once they knew where Arkansas had the personnel issue, they just stuck on the ground. And they got so many 4-, 5-, and 6-yard gains on the ground on first down. And their O-line has taken a whole lot of criticism, so they had to come back from this 2-week layoff and kind of prove themselves, and they did. And it's not like they didn't just get completely – you use the word manhandled. I think they got beaten more often than they won, for sure. But it was like a death of 1,000 cuts, because it was 4-, 5-, and 6-yard runs. They got one 22-yard run where I think Davis Price bounced around right edge, but otherwise, it was just small wins on almost every run play. And Arkansas had some run blitzes. Greg Brooks got in there. Jonathan Marshall tackled guys behind the line of scrimmage. But their lack of depth certainly proved through. They gave Enoch Jackson a couple snaps, and I saw him get flattened on one play. So he's got to improve. He's got to get stronger if he wants to play. And Marcus Miller, I know he was in on some plays, but you want your studs out there, and maybe they'll get some of them back from Missouri.
And to your point, 49 LSU rushes for 148 is a 3-yard average. So that's it goes right along with what you're saying. So knowing that we've beat the horse of 0-10 on third down, they were 1 of 1 on fourth down. That brings us to the call of the field goal with 1:24 to go, 4th and 3. Finally, Arkansas had gotten a sustained drive, because that was the issue with 8 of their 13 drives going 4 plays or less, resulting in punts or the interception. So your opinion on the call to not go for it when you hadn't had a lot of success there, but certainly field goals at that range have not shown to be successful throughout the course of the season. What's your thoughts, or what do you make of the call there with 1:24 to go to tie the game rather than extend the drive?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it at all, because what was the yardage needed? Was it 3?
3. It's 4th and 3.
4th and 3.
I'm sorry.
No, they had to complete it at 4th and 3 early, like you said.
Right. They'd only hadn't converted a third down, only 1 4th down in the game at that point.
You got to. I understand going for it there, because if you don't, then are you second guess. You're saying you don't trust your field goal team to make a 44-yard field goal, so you go for it. here's the thing. 2 LSU guys, I watched the replay, and I don't know what the ruling would have been, but 2 LSU guys did who were in 4-point stances, lifted their hands and pounded the ground, right before the snap. Back-to-back, number 7 and number 11 both did this. And I'm wondering if a lineman reacts to that if they get 5 extra yards. I mean, it's in the past. I don't know. But I don't think you're supposed to be doing that. You're trying to draw the other team, and 2 guys did it. So they just had Jay Ward, who'd been beaten earlier in the game. He makes the last 2 plays of the game. He breaks up the swing pass to Traylon Smith, and that was another thing. Felipe and Traylon Smith just could not get on the same page on those swing passes, and a couple times they were big-time open. And I sure think he would have converted the 3rd and 3 if he had been able to – well, there was another defender there. Anyway, and then Jay Ward blocks the field goal, and just unfortunate. They have not had great success on field goals over 40 yards this year for sure, but you can't pass up the chance to try to tie the game there.
One of the – and we won't get the chance to visit Thursday with a holiday, but, one of the things I'm really watching is this team goes back to doing the testing. We know that, as we mentioned earlier, the defensive players – that were out. Rakeem Boyd was out, so Arkansas was certainly shorthanded. As we go through this week and we get down to these final 2 ball games, and this being a road game, I think, obviously we pay a lot of attention to what Sam Pittman says when we get the chance to listen during the week. I think very interesting just to follow what's going on with COVID testing, contact tracing, and seeing what information we're going to learn as we're now a day closer to the Missouri game.
No question. And I'm a little bit hazy on whether or not these guys, if they haven't tested positive at all, if they've been in quarantine, if they can get a couple, 3 negative tests and be reinstated or come out of quarantine. So we'll ask that question to Sam Pittman today. But Missouri will certainly tailor its game plan around. I mean, they've got a great running back, well, actually a great pair of running backs in Roundtree and Beatty. And they'll go to them and certainly try to exploit if Arkansas is still lacking on the D front in this game. But, you saw Mississippi State go into Georgia with 49 available scholarship guys the other day and put on a whale of a game. I mean, really great effort. And I'm actually glad to see that. I don't like to see teams just completely implode. So we know the Razorbacks, look, LSU was refreshed and had a really good game plan, and Arkansas still could have and would have and should have won the game. So I don't doubt that this is going to be a close game no matter what happens, but I do hope they're able to get some guys back off quarantine.
Tom Murphy with us, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, you mentioned earlier, which I thought was an important point, that LSU almost had 2 weeks to game plan from Arkansas, and you saw that. I wonder, what were your impressions of TJ Finley as a true freshman quarterback? Looked pretty solid, fit some balls in some tight windows. What did you think about his performance against the Razorbacks?
Well, he did not have to shoulder the load of completing a lot of 3rd and 9s and all that, but he did. I think one of the biggest conversions of the game was that throwback over to Eric Gilbert. I think he converted a 3rd and 9 in the second half. That was huge because they were out of field goal range before that play. And I can't remember what the end result of the drive was, but it just kept that clock going, And he had a solid game. Other than the intentional grounding he got right before their last touchdown, he didn't make a ton of mistakes. He didn't get picked. There was a couple of balls that maybe could have been. Grant Morgan broke one up. You got his hand on one that Fouché might have made a diving catch on. Buster Brown and Hudson Clark ran into each other on a deep ball that had a good shot at getting picked off. I just wish, and I know you guys haven't touched on it, but the Catalan calls, it still bothers me. I don't know what the result would have been if he'd stayed in the game. It's not like the Auburn game where the call decided the outcome of the game. This one you don't know. But that fumble, to say that there's no clear recovery, the ball's loose and somebody comes out of the pile with the ball, how's that not a clear recovery?
Yeah.
And you can say, well, Arkansas got the ball back a few plays later. But it was 30, 35 yards down the field. and they burned all that clock in the meantime. Who knows what could have happened if they had gotten that ball on the LSU 37? More opportunity to score.
It wasn't like the Auburn game where it was a game-deciding call. Does it impact the game? Yes. To what degree, I guess, is the discussion. Ty and I were discussing that in one of the breaks. Yes, it impacts the game, but I can't go as far as to say the clear and immediate recovery determination by replay decided the outcome of the game. I can't go. That's a bridge too far for me. So
it is, but it's just another item, another piece of information for Razorback fans. It's like, man, do we ever catch a break?
And can they ever screw up in our favor?
Well, they did, because that was a touchdown that Davis Price caught. I don't know how in the world that was not ruled a touchdown. It almost felt like a makeup call for the Catalan ejection that came just a few plays earlier. But they went to the replay booth so many times in that game. Someone asked Sam a question about it, and I was thinking, well, there was 4 or 5. No, there was like 7, 8, maybe even 9 replay booths, and they got some of them right. The spot on the Franks one, the spot on the Eric Gilbert catch that converted a 4th down, they got those right. But they missed Catalan, because how else is he turned his body and he basically hit him with his lower shoulder, hip, or side of his back. And then the Davis Price catch, he catches it, takes a couple steps, goes across the end zone with it, rolls over, and the ball comes out. That was a touchdown in my view. So but they blew a few too.
Tom, we appreciate your time as always, man. I know we're not going to get the chance to talk to you on Thanksgiving, so we wish you and yours, if you get a chance to spend it with some family, have a great one, man.
Will do. Same to you guys. Take care.
Thanks, Tom.
Good stuff from Tom Murphy as always. We'll have that. We'll get back to your calls as it is a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV.
Yeah, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. All the top brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the new solar-powered Vibe. They have lifetime warranties on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle. So relax and know that your RV is going to stay like new year after year. Wheels RV. Seek, explore, and discover at Wheels RV.
River Pig in Fayetteville. You got about a minute and a half, man. You're on the morning rush.
Yeah, I got a few drives. Might not get to all of them, but it drove me crazy listening to brag on the LSU game plan. It's like when somebody hits the big easy red button that says, run the ball for a W, because the other team's defense is out. I don't know how great a game plan that is. That was kind of driving me crazy. And regarding the targeting deal, I don't know. Honestly, why is it not the quarterback slide rule that should apply? If a guy goes down at all to avoid anything, he's down. If we can't hit him, then he's down as soon as he drops his shoulders whatsoever. If he's catch and run, fine. He's eligible. But if he wants to protect himself, I just think he's down as soon as he does it, especially, within 15 yards of the line of scrimmage where all these crossing plays happen, these big collisions. I mean, there's a few downfield, but most of them are like 15 yards. 90% of these are within the hashes. So if you catch a ball as a receiver coming across the field within 15 yards or something, you're down. That's just it. You're down. And I say there's a precedent for that in college sports, where you make fouls, or you can't charge a call, or you can't get a call for a charge inside the arc in basketball, right? Same kind of thing.
Right.
So they can negotiate these fouls and where they occur. And also, I think my final point is just like, man, the punishment needs to fit the crime. If someone launches headfirst, and strikes the helmet of another defensive player, sure, throw them out, man. But this stuff, like, it's anything other than that, it can't be ejection. It's stupid. It's just, these replays, they're not helping the game. They're not helping the game for the fans. They're just not. I don't care. Yeah, you might get 1 or 2 wins, but it's just, you sit here and wait, bated breath, and the answer comes back. And, like, how in the world do they not see what half America sees? It's just so frustrating. It's not helping the game. It just adds to the frustration. I don't know. It's a clear recovery issue. It's just stupid. I mean, same point. I don't have anything new to say there. It's just Rant Monday. I mean, a guy.
Hot Take Monday here. Thanks, River Pig.
It's frustrating.
What we had said and what I had said is, it's just frustrating that it's an immediate ejection. That's why I think the rule should be changed. Real quick, I know we're about to do Gasson's time. I was sitting with 2 Morning Rush listeners at the game. Claude Bryant and Dylan Bryant, and they have listened to the show since its inception.
Yeah.
And they said they look forward to Gaston's every single day.
Have they been to Gaston's?
They are planning on going.
Well,
they
good.
have yet to go, but they are planning. He told me at the game that he is booking a trip.
Well,
he's going to
hopefully,
go.
hopefully, we've had a little bit to do with their desire to go to Gaston's. And I'll tell you what, if your family plans have changed, or you don't want to cook, or hey, you just got the four of you, and you don't want to cook a big turkey meal and dressing and all that stuff, go to Gaston's this year, particularly those listed on 1043 that are nearby, 870-431-5202. They'll have an all-day Thanksgiving buffet, starts at 10, ends at 7. Make your reservations and treat your family to Gaston's this year, and don't worry about the muss and the fuss. 870-431-5202 for Thanksgiving. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spa.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Frankfurt Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale. 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day. 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th. And 6:30 to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa and Love, regular $22.50, on sale, finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses on sale. 3 days only at Frankfurt Furniture. Super Black Friday sale. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Salads or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Garrison in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404.
782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Tri-Hill Turf and Pest. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404. 782-0404.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
They hand it off Talley. Just the middle. Talley at the 40. Talley at the 30. Talley on his horse at the 20. The 10. Touchdown, Razorback!
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
Gonna talk some SEC football coming up here on the Morning Rush. We also have a little competition brewing this Saturday during the Arkansas and Missouri game.
Well, you boys, I guess, better not eat too much turkey on Thursday because Saturday we're going to be at Joe's Grill in Cantina. We'll watch the Arkansas-Missouri game. Then at halftime, now what is it y'all are doing? You're going to see which one of you two knuckleheads can eat more tacos than the other in 10 minutes? We determined a time limit. Is it 10 minutes?
As soon as halftime starts and as soon as the game kicks off.
So what, we're going to miss the last 2 minutes of the half while we get set up? Or I mean, when you saw like the gun sounds on the first half, we're going to start eating?
As soon as the halftime starts, that's the gun. We'll have tacos in front of us, and as soon as it ends. That's there's no point of putting, it's not that hard. As soon as it stops, as soon as it ends.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
all right, so that's what we're doing. I don't care. I'm not eating the tacos, so it doesn't matter to me. So I'll talk to Joe about it,
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to be a contest either way. I mean,
you talk to Wade.
We're trying to see if Ty can actually out-eat me.
Here's what we need you to do out there listening. If you're going to be tired of turkey leftovers by Saturday, so come join us. Half price apps and taps during the game. We'll be open early sets, an 11 a.m. game, so 10 a.m. opening, and they'll have some bar specials and stuff, and then kitchen will open just shortly after that. $1 tacos, they do that all day Saturday, and we'll see which one of these knuckleheads can eat more tacos at halftime.
It's a jam-packed day that day, too, because you've got the football game at 11, and then you got the Razorback basketball that night.
That's right. BE says SmackDown by 3. Is that the Vegas line, or is that just a prediction?
We do need you're the impartial third party. You, Phil Matty, we need to figure out the line here because we need betting odds.
I need a betting odds. Well, it's got to be a half a taco, so we go maybe 2.5.
2.5.
SmackDown is favored by 2.5. I don't know. Let me work on that.
What you're saying is
let me run the computer models.
I need to cover as far as that goes. That's
Joe's Grill.
Still the win?
That's the goal.
Joe's Grill in Cantina, South 74th Street, across from Harps. Saturday, get out there, $1 tacos. We'll see which one of these yahoos can eat the most.
All right.
Boy, what fun that's going to be. Don't wear open-toed shoes.
Yeah. Things are going to be flying around everywhere. So, all right, going to the phone lines. Welcome in David in South Arkansas, and we have to do it with this music as his Kansas City Chiefs beat the rival Oakland Raiders last night. But I know you want to talk Arkansas LSU this morning, David.
Yes, I do. I was listening to Chuck and Quinn on the radio broadcast Saturday, and I loved the disbelief in the voices at some of the calls that were being made. And here's the deal. Let you guys think about this. Full-time officials, get these guys
together all week, training, rules, physical conditions so they can run up and down the field, so they can move and get out of the way, with the hurry-up offenses and stuff. Full-time officials, accountability, where they can be fired after a game. That would be wonderful. I mean, even in the NFL, I'm going to just go into this for a minute. There was a call last night against the Chiefs hitting a defenseless receiver. The receiver, is like doing a tip drill. He gets nailed with a shoulder in the chest. They call 15 yards. Do you think that would take care of some of this stuff if we had full-time officials? That's what they do. I don't know if the NCAA monitor, hire, do whatever, each conference, but this is it's ridiculous. I've loved listening to you guys talk about the Catalan call. I did not see it. Like I said, I was on the radio, but Chuck Barrett, bless his heart, the Razorback has the ball. How can it not be Razorback ball? It was great. Anyway, a good weekend, at least partial good weekend. Thanks, guys.
Where do we want? First of all, there is accountability. Every call, non-call, is graded. Being full-time, I mean, it's not like they just show up Saturday an hour and a half before the game and just start getting ready. They spend all week long watching film, grading film, looking at calls, meeting by Zoom. I mean, you'd be amazed, David, the amount of time these guys put in it and how – even at the high school level, how serious, but particularly at this level where there is a lot on the line. They are paid handsomely to work these games. There is a lot of pride in being an official at this level. So I think we have a misperception a lot of times as fans what these guys do all week long. I don't think a lot of conferences could afford to employ football officials as full-time employees.
They make about, $3,000 a game?
Maybe more than that now, but and then travel and things. In basketball, it's a little north of that per game, but depending on what tier you're on, they have a tiering system based on experience. So I get your point, and I hear what you're saying. I think a lot of those things from an accountability standpoint are already in place.
I don't think I've ever gone on this radio station and called for someone to be fired by any stretch of the imagination like David was referring to, but it is frustrating to always seem to be on the brunt of calls on the other end. But I will listen, Ben made a lot of incorrect statements earlier, but I will say to his point about that one guy, and Tom mentioned it too, I'm forgetting the guy that looked like he beat Hudson Clark and caught that touchdown, it was almost like a Des Bryant play where he had it for a couple seconds and then the ball scored it loose. That looked like a touchdown to me, and I don't remember what that drive resulted in. As far as LSU's, it might have been a touchdown, but I don't remember as far as that goes. So back to the phone lines, 877-377-6963. Let's go to Pagan. Welcome in our buddy Kagan, who just got back from his honeymoon. Kagan, how was it, man? Did you have a good time?
Yes, sir. I had a great time. Started to get homesick towards Friday because, the Hogs playing on Saturday, but we ended up leaving Saturday, so I had to, listen to the Hogs game the whole way there, and Chuck's pretty good about calling it like he sees it. So, I knew there was some stuff going on that wasn't right when him and Quinn were sitting there saying, well, this is going to have to be Razorback ball. They're reviewing it, but, so I had to deal with that. And my wife over in the passenger seat the whole time, she had her headphones in watching TV or whatever on her phone. And it seemed like every time she turned around, I was over here cranking it up, I like to listen to the Razorback game loud. I want to hear everything. I want to hear the crowd noise. I want to hear it all, and
yeah. Even the fake crowd noise. I want to hear. I just want to even want to hear the fake stuff piped in.
Yeah, exactly. And I could hear them. With the radio turned up and all that. But man, I'm gonna go to the 4th and 3 thing. Felipe Franks got the arm to win games. You're telling me there ain't a 3-yard play to Treylon Burks to get 3 yards? A give me play. There's got to be something in Brown's playbook. I'm a gambler. Obviously Coach Pittman's not, but there's a play where you can throw the football with Felipe Franks' arm 3 yards and get at least a first down. Or the play they do where he goes to the end zone and catches it, every time. But, I don't know. That's above my pay grade there, but I want to see what y'all thought about that.
Kagan, appreciate the call. I know that we talked about it a little bit. We'll get into that conversation more coming up. If you remember on that drive, they completed a 4th and 3 play to Traylon Smith where he ran when I forget it's a zigzag route where he pulls him out and then comes back in, but it felt very Mississippi State 2015-esque to me, where I knew if they didn't score a touchdown on the drive, they were not going to make the field goal, and it was blocked, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll pick up where we left off with more calls coming up on the top of the 8 o'clock hour, so that's on the way. Hey, went up to $15,000 just in time for the holidays for free rent or mortgage for a year. Brought to you by Chambers Bank and Nick and Ellie Glidewell, real estate agents. Plus, we got some great local prizes like $250 to Doe's Eat Place and a $250 Walmart gift card. Just go to hitthatline.com, click on the button that says free rent, and register. You can do it now at hitthatline.com.
Talking Hogs and Tigers this morning. Stay with us.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling, silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell it at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
You always get more at Or.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button. Give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today, or high this afternoon in the mid to upper 50s. Cloudy to partly cloudy skies tonight. The overnight low will drop to near 40. We'll see an increasing chance of showers and a slight chance of a few thunderstorms on Tuesday. Highs 60 north, mid 60 south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hertz Car Sales. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard. Call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
And the boot will stay in Baton Rouge. LSU has won what, Quinn, I got to say, is the toughest loss so far this season for the Razorbacks. LSU comes away with a 27-24 win. The boos are for the referees as they're running to their locker room. They're not booing the Razorbacks. They're booing the striped-shirted guys.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but they ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 3 of The Morning Rush on a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV. Your calls, your text all morning long, 877-377-6963. We haven't talked about what occurred in the SEC this weekend. We will get into that coming up here on The Morning Rush, as well as circle back to the Hogs and the Tigers and all this morning.
All the top brands are at Wheels RV, like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, even the new solar-powered Vibe that you can go out and really get off the grid with a solar-powered Vibe from the all-new Wheels RV. Get out and explore. You're going to find all kinds of great stuff just right here in the borders of the natural state. And with Wheels RV, you get a lifetime warranty on every new unit, and they have a mobile service shuttle that can come to you. So relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV is 5 miles west of Exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
We were kind of debating earlier what time the Arkansas-Alabama game will be next Saturday. That will be announced probably during halftime today, as it always is. The SEC office comes out with that, and Alabama just put a beat down on a depleted Kentucky team, 63-3 the final in that one. And this was a Kentucky team that was missing the majority of its best players due to COVID restrictions, and Mark Stoops walked into a minefield in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Yeah, it was Alabama from the get-go, and they just did not have the fire. And that's the thing. You get into these games because of COVID and because a lot of things, and they're just not even games. They're not what you think they should be. But Alabama, to me, looked like a team that had been off since Halloween, that looked well-rested, well-prepared, very smooth and polished. Ty, they look like the number one team of the country is what they look like.
Yeah, Mac Jones, Kyle Trask collision course in the SEC championship is going to be quite entertaining. And speaking of,
is that for the Heisman Trophy maybe? With Fields throwing the interceptions this weekend, that kind of
how many
evens
three?
That I know that's we're not going to get to that in the SEC game. But that ended up a touchdown game. I could make a case that doesn't help Fields, but that helps Ohio State. But point being, that brings, if you thought he was maybe leading the field, that brings that to a much more even field. And the SEC title game and who outduels the other quarterback, that could swing some Heisman votes in the South.
Kyle Trask is putting up Joe Burrow-like numbers. Speaking of Joe Burrow, towards ACL yesterday against the Washington football team. Sad moment for the former LSU Tiger, and he's out for the season. But no, that I think it 100% is going to be.
Trevor Lawrence didn't get to play because
Yeah.
that Florida State game got
Canceled.
oddly postponed at the day of. So some weird stuff may happen with a Heisman, and all of that favors Trask. Is all I'm saying.
So Trask and Jones, if Trask can manage to beat Alabama, then I think that his Heisman Trophy is his to lose at this point. Other games in the SEC, speaking of Trask, they were able to beat Vanderbilt. It's closer than a lot of Gator fans won in the first half, but they were able to beat them pretty good in the second, 38-17. Tennessee once again lost. Jeremy Pruitt's seat keeps getting hot. The Auburn Tigers won at home 30-17 as they prepare to take on Alabama this week.
That was a good ball game. And back to the Florida, Florida was kind of going through the motions in the first half. Once they got rolling though, that wasn't really a ball game.
Mm-hmm.
If you just tree-topped and looked at the final number. Vanderbilt kept their gloves up longer than a lot of people would have liked, but that was a game where Florida. There was never a moment if you watched any of that game you thought, boy, Florida's going to lose here.
Georgia beat Mississippi State in actually a closer game than a lot of people anticipated, 31-24 in Athens, and then South Carolina lost to Missouri 17-10 as Eli Drinkwitz moves to 3-3 on the season. So that is your SEC scores from the weekend. This was interesting. Lane Kiffin has vouched for Sam Pittman getting Coach of the Year. He's been vocal about that on social media, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't know how much bearing Lane Kiffin's opinion has on the people who vote on that award, but it is cool to see the Ole Miss head coach advocate for the Arkansas head coach to win SEC Coach of the Year.
Who does vote on the SEC Coach of the Year? Is it a select media panel? We know there's a coaches preseason all SEC team, so we know the coaches vote in that. I'm not exactly clear on who has the say in that award. Do you have anything on that?
I don't remember if it's the coaches that vote on that or if because I know, like you said, there's an all SEC voted on by the coaches and then the media, but I don't know
if it's the coaches. If there were 14 votes and you couldn't vote for yourself, I think Sam would get a few more votes than you might think out of the SEC this year.
I think, and what I stated, and unfortunately with the loss to LSU, now I think if they would have beat LSU and then beat Missouri this week, and then they're going to lose to Alabama, that's just inevitable. But I wonder how much more likely he would have been to win the award. I still think he has a chance, but I think his percentage keeps dwindling after what's happened these last couple weeks. But we'll see. Hey, maybe they beat Missouri and they compete against Alabama and they end on a strong note. And again, we don't know if the coaches vote or the media votes. Maybe people looking at that and say, wow, they really – the expectations vary to that. But it's like you said, I think 5-5 is a lot more presentable than 4-6 if you're voting on the SEC Coach of the Year.
And I'll tell you another thing. From the postseason perspective, you could have won one of the two between Auburn and LSU, put that win on the board, and then beat Missouri this week. Just think about where you're going to maybe slot in for a bowl game. That's why this week, I don't want to say it's a must win. You need to win it because you don't want to go on this long losing skid to end the year, and you got Alabama the following week, so a victory's not very, very likely. A win this week, certainly props a lot of things up. You get to 4 wins. If you had gotten to 5, you wonder maybe you go to Florida for a bowl game at that point. You get down in the Sunshine State.
I just got a text from the Golden Source that says that coaches do an all-SEC team and the Coach of the Year, and the media does a separate one. So, and I think what someone else who just texted
Which one
in,
does the bonus get paid off of? That's what the coaches want to know.
Stoner from Nashville texted in. He says that he feels like he's heard a lot of coaches saying they would at least be in his top 3. I think Sam is, again, what I stated. And I think he has a lot more of a case if they beat LSU this past weekend.
To beat LSU and Auburn, it's, I don't want to say a lock, but be hard to pass him up if they had those 2 wins.
It's going to be. And listen, I still think I think there's a really good possibility he ends up. And in fact, I don't think it's a possibility. If they beat Missouri this weekend and compete against Alabama, he will at least be in the top 3. The coaches he's fighting for at this point, and again, this is under the impression if they beat Missouri and play Alabama, the coaches that he's going to be fighting this one for are Dan Mullen of Florida and Jimbo Fisher of Texas A&M. Here's what, if you want to vouch for Sam Pittman in this case, here's what I'll say about that. Texas A&M was a preseason top 10 team, which they still are, so they've lived up to expectations. Florida, also a preseason top 10 team. Maybe I can't remember if the media picked Florida to win the SEC or beat Georgia to win the SEC East or not.
Yes,
but
I believe Florida was picked.
Were they picked? Okay, so they've lived up to expectations.
Yeah.
No, if you're gonna if you put on the Razorback glasses, if you want to do from this perspective, no one had any expectations for Arkansas. Arkansas was picked.
Maybe a win.
Arkansas was picked 7th in the SEC West and either 13th or 14th in the division. I think they were 14th behind Vanderbilt, if memory serves me correct. And yet they've outdone expectations exponentially more. So if you want to come from that perspective, from the Razorback slant, that is what Sam Pittman has. And it's just, if this, again, from the statement I was just given, if this is a coach's award, like certain coaches don't like each other, period. If this is a coach-voted award, based on what we know, there hasn't been a lot of ill will towards Sam Pittman. So that, I mean, we talked about Dan Mullen and him being unlikable at certain points, and I don't think Nick Saban's going to win the award. I think Jimbo might be a little more likable, but if you had to, between those 3, and this is, I mean, you ask anyone outside of Texas A&M, Florida, and Arkansas, hey, who's the most likable coach of Sam Pittman, Jimbo Fisher, and Dan Mullen? You point to Sam Pittman, and I don't even think it's close at that point, but we'll see.
The guy that hadn't beat you yet's always the most likable.
That's, I guess, but that even Lane Kiffin, who got beat by Sam Pittman, is saying that he should be coach of the year.
Hear you, but, I mean, it's a nice discussion, and we want accolade, we want respect, we want someone to say, yes, you're good. Go win a few more games, and these things will take care of themselves.
And a big one this weekend against Missouri, a game that I think a lot of people have high expectations for. You're 2.0 underdogs, according to Vegas, and I think this is going to be a good football team like we saw against LSU. And let's get back into this LSU conversation, 877-377-6963.
Brought to you by The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. They can build gates for you, powered automatic gates, or just your residential fencing project, chain link fence, wood privacy fence, vinyl fencing, or if you've got a custom idea in mind, they'd love to take on that challenge as well. Ask them about 18 months, same as cash financing, when you call The Fence Man. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. For The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
A lot of you have texted in and called in this morning and voiced your disapproval about them kicking and attempting the 44-yard field goal from A.J. Reed, which was blocked and cost Arkansas the game. I did not have a problem whatsoever with them kicking it. And I will say there were shades of the 2015 Mississippi State game where Cole Hedlund's kick got blocked. I think it was Alex Volsky that let a guy Ole by him, and they ended up doing that. But I didn't have a problem with the decision to kick the field goal. A.J. Reed, if you remember, had already made a field goal in the fourth quarter. While they had completed a 4th and 3 on that play, 0 for 10 on third down throughout the entirety of the game, and only 1 for 1 on fourth. I didn't have a problem with that. Here was Sam Pittman on the decision to kick the field goal in the fourth quarter.
4th and 3, 45-yard field goal, down 3. What would you have said if we'd have went for it and didn't make it? Kick the field goal? To me, there wasn't a question of what you do. We're going to tie the game up. We didn't think they had enough time. They weren't a prolific throwing the ball football team. They only had a timeout left as well, so. If it was closer, we might have tried it, but I have confidence in Reed, and I certainly thought we could protect it, and I thought we would. And There was no doubt in my mind we'd make it. We probably would have, but we had it tipped.
We know the result of what that happened, but I just don't understand. And
it's damned if you do, damned if you
Yeah,
don't.
hindsight.
Either way, you've got an argument either way if you're not successful.
Hindsight's 2020. Well, what I was frustrated with is, if you remember on that drive on the 1st and 10 to open up, and I'm forgetting the yard where they started at, but Traylon Smith was called for a tripping penalty on the 1st and 10, which I believe set them up on a 1st and 22. I think it was 12 yards that they lost in that play, and they ended up converting on that, but you backed them up a little bit. Just the idea that they should have gone for it in that situation, I don't get the arguments for that philosophy of thinking. You could say,
That
well,
they should have gone for
that
it?
they should have gone
Well,
for it
okay.
over kicking the field goal. And I know your special teams has not been up to
Right.
snuff this year, but like Sam said, let's say they went for it and didn't get it, then everyone's like, why didn't you kick the field goal? He's like you said, damned if you do, damned
Right.
if you don't.
So the argument would be look at your percentages of kicks over 40 yards this year. Arkansas, when you look at not just the field goal percentage, but dive into the analytics, and I don't have it in front of me, but I can just tell you by watching the games, they have not been real successful at making kicks of more than 40 yards.
I think AJ's made
one.
I know he's made
believe.
one, the 49
It was a 48
yarder.
and a 49. He missed one, made one. They're just not real successful on the longer field goals this year. They've had some problems. So that would be the argument that, yes, you had him out there earlier in the quarter, but that was a 22-yarder. It's a whole different ball game, a whole different ask at 44 yards. You're asking for twice the yardage, and you just look at where they're at. If you want an argument at the other side, but I think the argument or the analytics of, but you have not been very good at all day long on short yardage situations. 0 for 10 on 3rd down, as we've hit on all morning. You've only attempted 4th down one time, and that was earlier in the drive. And you got it 4th and 3. This isn't 4th and a foot. This isn't 4th and a yard. This is 4th and 3. I agree with the decision to kick, but there is an argument to be made either way.
Ryan and Conway is wanting to know your opinion on the block, the tripping call that was called on Traylon Smith in that drive.
Horrendous. I mean, I just thought the guys got their legs tangled up, and Smith just got in the air. I thought it was nothing. I thought it was a no call.
Yeah, and less than 4 minutes to go in that situation, it seemed kind of odd that they would be.
It was not an obvious intentional act to trip somebody, in my opinion.
Yeah, and if you watch the play, Traylon he's a spry, very lumber guy. It looks like he just kind of got turned around a little bit and somersaulted and flipped over. It looked, from my vantage point, it didn't look intentional, but again, I'm wearing the Razorback glasses.
Dan Skipper's attempt to trip somebody 5 years ago or whatever it was in that A&M game, that was an intentional act to try to trip somebody. This was just, to me, players getting tangled up, and I don't see the intent of somebody trying to trip somebody on that play.
Want to go down the land of the Bulldogs? Welcome in David, who is in Greenwood. David, you're on the Morning Rush.
Morning, guys.
Morning, David.
Good morning.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I was calling to talk about Bryles a little bit. Kind of get you guys' take on his performance as a whole. One play stands out to me. I think it was 3rd and 1. I know it was 3rd and 1. I think it was like midway through the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe we throw the ball. And then incomplete, 4th down, go to a shotgun and hand the ball off. Why not on 3rd down, get up under center, quarterback sneak. If you don't get it, go for it again, up under center. You can surely get a yard with a quarterback as big as Frank's. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I brought that up earlier, David. I think you make an excellent point. Now, remember, I would say 90-something% of the time, Arkansas is lining up in shotgun or not really pistol, but lining up in those type of formations. And I think it worries offensive coordinators sometime when they change just how the ball snapped from going from shotgun to under center. But David, to your point, you got a 6'6" quarterback who's shown the ability to pick up tough yards in situations, and it's not one where I think he's like in a situation to slip, because we saw him slip a few times throughout the course of the game, not just Felipe, but other players as well. I just don't understand, right. And I've been just screaming from the treetops that in 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 situations, just sneak the football. It's almost like the term that you use with Kendall Bryles so far this season, it's almost like he tries to get cute with it. Just make the easy play call. And I don't understand. Again, he's a lot smarter than me. He's got a lot more football acumen than I do. But that just seems like an easy play call to making that.
Common sense.
Yeah.
But let me just to take another side here for conversation's sake. You mentioned Arkansas's in the shotgun. You know some kind of center to quarterback exchange that's not under center the majority of the game. Correct.
Right.
So you run the risk of going up there and taking a center to quarterback exchange on a sneak because you can't do that from. I mean, it makes no sense to try to do a QB sneak from the shotgun or pistol. Will we agree on that?
Right.
So
yep.
We have seen offenses in the past, and we've seen quarterbacks in the past make a critical mistake when all of a sudden now we're going to take a snap from under center and you fumble that baby. And that's, now you're done. So that's also the fear in the back of an OC's mind, I would imagine, is we don't do that very often. And now you're asking the center to make a different snap, the quarterback to make a different deal. Remember, his left hand's not exactly 100%, and then dive into that A gap head forward. It's perfect if you spend some of your offense under center, but Arkansas spends very little, if none, of their offense under center.
I get that, but if we've got a quarterback in the center that can't take a snap, we got a problem.
I agree. I'm just saying, let's have the other side of a conversation. I'm not saying that's why they're doing it. I'm just saying that would be one of the reasons why you might avoid that decision.
And that's what I was saying as well. David, we appreciate your call this morning, buddy. I think the exchange aspect is obviously important, but I don't think there was one snap that scared me during that game that Felipe had to go Twin Towers and go up and snag. But outside of that, I mean, there haven't been a lot of bad snaps that I'm trying to think off the top of my head, do this real quick on the flies. There's 2 games remaining in this football season, but the exchanges I don't think have been that much of an issue, but you do wonder with Felipe's hand and then just going under center what that would be like.
I'm just saying it's a different kind of snap. You're asking your center to do something a little different, your quarterback to do something a little different, and when you do that, and maybe they practice that, maybe they are 1,000% comfortable in doing that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just saying that would perhaps be one of the reasons you don't do that.
Yeah,
and that would be a question that Bryles or Pittman would have to say. Well, we don't. I don't know if they'd come right out and just say, well, we don't do it because we don't want to risk the possibility of a fumble on the snap.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really something you'd probably want to say as a coach.
I'm trying to find this graphic. Felipe was either number 1 in the country or number 1 in the SEC when it comes to his red zone passing percentage. Yeah. Like he has been unbelievable this season. I know there's always going to be criticism of the Arkansas quarterback, but he also went 5 for 5 on 20+ yard throws, 245 yards and a touchdown against LSU. When given the opportunity, he took his chances and made some big plays. Now, he was helped out by some good catches from Mike Woods. He had T.J. Hammond's layout for one. Traylon Burks caught that one that was wide open because it was a great pick play. But, I mean, he's been pretty solid when it comes to making decisions in the red zone, which is something you cannot say after last year. You just wonder sometimes why the simple play isn't called, and you presented some reasons why.
Just some reasons I would think about it. And then also, do you think the offensive line is reliable enough that, hey, I'm just going to get behind this guy right here and get me a yard or get me a half a yard against an SEC defensive line? I mean, I can't say that that's always
not in this game, man. Holy cow!
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could say that. Yeah, you're guaranteed those 2 or 3 feet.
Where did the improvement go? You had 3 straight 200+ yard games.
And LSU's not as bad as you think up front.
Yeah, so. I mean, I still don't think there's really an excuse for the lack of rushing attack you had on Saturday. So,
Rakeem Boyd not being in there didn't.
I
know Smith's good, but Boyd being gone is worth something.
That did not help anything. Hey, we're brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings this morning. 4 new flavors of Buffalo Wild Wings: orange sauce, Carolina Reaper, lemon pepper, and pizza sauce. Me and my buddies love going there on Friday nights for happy hour, whether it's the onion rings, the mozzarella sticks, the tacos. We love it all at Buffalo Wild Wings. Locations in Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and Conway. Try the new flavors. You don't have to do pizza and wings anymore. You can do both at Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, coming up in the program, more Hogs and Tigers next.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagles Nest is coming in hot.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Frankfurt Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale. 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day. 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th. And 6:30 to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa and Love, regular $22.50, on sale, finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses on sale. 3 days only at Frank Roll Furniture. Super Black Friday sale. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa and Love, regular $22.50, on sale, finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses are on sale. 3 days only at Frank Roll Furniture. Super Black Friday sale. Best seats in the house.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
This is Randy Magnus, mortgage loan manager with Arvest Bank in Fort Smith. Have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about their rate after their loan is closed. Your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. With Arvest competitive rates, you might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term of your loan, or both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that originate, so most of the time you can deal with any of our local branches for all your mortgage needs. Please give us a call at 479-573-1127 or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Fort Smith loan officer. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
Over $12,000 off on 2020 Ford Expeditions at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. Get the room, comfort, and features you demand with the Ford Expedition and save $12,645 off MSRP at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. The 2020 Ford Fusion, where style and great pricing meet, as low as $19,006. That's up to $6,500 off MSRP. The lowest prices, the best selection. Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Back to October of 2012. They're going to run and get that boot. They're going across the field. That's theirs now.
The city's going to come unglued.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Kraft ESPN.
Can we get rid of that one? That was too painful to hear when we did beat LSU last.
The 2020. I thought you were talking about the song. I thought you were talking about Chris Staples' song.
No.
I was confused.
It makes me want to drink after what happened this weekend.
What did
that was the highlight of running across the field to get that boot.
What did Craig and Deere say? That he's not the he's had himself some Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah, he had an allergic reaction to whiskey, made him break out in handcuffs.
Yeah,
so that's what he said.
One of the best calls we took last Friday.
We're brought to you by Ouachita Farms, a state-licensed cannabis farm processor and seed labeler located in Central Arkansas in Hot Springs Village. You can find all of their products online at WashitaFarms.com. 100% USA-grown hemp. They do it right here in the natural state with no additives. In fact, you can find all their small batch-made, lab-resulted, verified products on their website. So you can find all the lab results and everything you want to know about their products right there. So go to WashitaFarms.com. If you're in Hot Springs Village or near that area, driving through on Highway 7 North, stop in 3958 Highway 7 North. They also have gift certificates available. You can purchase those online as well. So if you want to try some CBD products, or you got a family member that really sees the benefits from it, from so many things, gift cards are available online as well. And it's a great, thoughtful gift during the holiday season, and you can buy those online. Use the code WPS15 when checking out. That's WPS15 for a great discount at WashitaFarms.com. That's WashitaFarms.com.
I saw him, I thought he tried to avoid he was coming in with his shoulder. Their receiver went lower as he was going towards the ground, and I felt like he was trying to avoid the contact. But I can see what they saw as well. But certainly it looked to me like he was trying to avoid getting his head out of there and trying to avoid the receiver's helmet as well.
That was Sam Pittman following the game, speaking to Jalen Catalan's ejection. Then Hunter Yurchek also commented about 4 o'clock following the game. He says, "I cannot change the outcome or any of the other missed calls, but I will work with the appropriate SEC officials to make sure this targeting call does not cost Jalen Catalan our next game. Our student athletes deserve better." And that, again, came from your athletics director, Hunter Yurchek. And you and I were talking about that there's no appeal process within this isn't like the NFL. There's no appeal process within the SEC.
No, that's a red meat tweet. I mean, that appeases the masses, but that's going nowhere because even right in the rule book, I sent it right to you, the replay is final. So if you have replay that reviews it, it's final. The only appeal that could happen on a targeting call is in a game where you had no replay and the national coordinator, who is Steve Shaw, who used to officiate in this league, coordinated this league, now he's the national coordinator, could then review it and work with the conference on that. But that's not what happened here because Arkansas in this league has replay, and they reviewed it, and that decision is final. So there will be no appeal. There will be no change. And while that's all great, Catalan's going to miss. Now, the other part of the rule is if you have a third targeting foul, it's a full game suspension. So Catalan's got to be careful the rest of the way these next two because any suspension in this game or perhaps a bowl game would be a full gamer.
Hogbeat
for
found
this season. That's in this season. That doesn't carry over to next year.
Nikki and Hutch found out through doing some digging that the conference will not be making a statement following the hit or anything as far as that regards or the calls made in the Arkansas game. So I know some of you were wondering if that was going to happen. It's not.
I don't think you'd like just particularly the Catalan call, and reading the rule and looking at what you wouldn't like the statement they'd make anyway. It just infuriate you, so you don't want them to make one.
877-377-6963. Going out to Kentucky and welcoming in Jason, who's in Frankfurt. Jason, you're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, Ty. Tommy, good to talk to you guys.
Good morning.
I think the thing that sticks in my craw with the targeting call is earlier in the game you had an LSU player who clearly did lead with the helmet and made a big play, no doubt, but then stood up and stood over the Razorback receiver and then seemed to be taunting. It seemed to be a personal foul indicator. It went under review. It seems as though I've seen this done in the NCAA. They could have tacked on a personal foul on top of the targeting call. None of that happened. So I think that is where I see a little bit out of balance in terms of the targeting.
Is this the one where because they did disqualify an LSU defender? Are you talking about that particular play?
Yes, sir.
So you're asking for a 30-yard penalty in addition. Is what you're wanting 15 and then another 15 is what you're asking for.
That's what I'd seen. Okay. The results of the video seem to indicate that there was a standing over of the receiver and looking down in a violent motion with the head. I'm not sure what was said. There was no microphone on the field, but that seemed to be an indicator. So
how would you review something? How would you review that? I'm just asking. How would you review that?
Well, it was already up for review.
I mean the unsportsmanlike part where you think he was. If you can't hear it, how would you determine whether it was unsporting?
Well, could you indicate that he was standing over him if you went back and looked? I mean, isn't that where? That's what unsportsmanlike conduct.
But that happens a lot on tackles where you're getting up and you're standing over your opponent. So I mean, without hearing, I'm just trying to walk my mind through the process of if you did review that element of it. How would you come to a conclusion without knowing what he said?
How would you? Right, you wouldn't. And so my assumption was that one referee, I guess he was only armed with one yellow flag, so he could only throw the flag and indicate the targeting if he saw a guy standing over another individual.
Jason, I'm going to be honest, man. I think you're grasping at straws at this point. I don't like when you see taunting or anything like that, but I mean, I watched that play, and if you watch, Arkansas players have done that before too, and there hasn't been a lot of that.
I just don't think you very often see them come back with a targeting. Plus, we're going to add on taunting unless it's obvious. We're going to put 30 yards on the end of this play. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and ejection is validated. By the way, LSU secondary is depleted. No, Derek Stanley Jr. didn't play a lot in the second half. Arkansas should have done much better offensively. 877-377-6963.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. See, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button. Give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Stop in today at Randall Ford, where you'll find over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. We have what you want at the price that will fit your budget. We have 35 certified pre-owns. We even have over 25 vehicles under $10,000 and no payment for 90 days. All used vehicles go through a 115-point safety inspection. Plus, we will deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time. Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Football picked off in midair. And here we go down the sideline. Alonzo Highsmith. Touchdown, Arkansas.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
So I know everyone wants to get on here on a Monday following some controversial calls that you want to berate the officiating, yell and scream. You're welcome to do that because it is a Hot Take Monday at 877-377-6963. But there are other aspects of the game that you can point to and say, this is why Arkansas lost, this is why LSU won, this is why the outcome of the game is why it was. And we're going to try and do that here coming up in just one sec.
Have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about the rate of their loan once it's closed, and your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan with Arvest competitive rates. If you haven't checked the market right now, it's incredible how low 15 and even 30-year mortgage rates are right now. You really should ask someone at Arvest to do that for you. They could lower your monthly payment, shorten the term of your loan, maybe do some of both. And Arvest Bank services 99% of the loans that they originate, so you can most of the time deal with someone right in your local branch, not only during the process of getting and closing the loan, but also after the loan as well. And that has been a great point for dealing with Arvest Bank for me and my recent finance about a year ago. 479-573-1127 is the number. Call and ask for Randy, and he'll get the process started. 479-573-1127, or you can download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for Arvest Loan Officer near you. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
So I think one of the things you can point to is Arkansas's inability to run the football on Saturday. They barely got over 100 yards, and it was so weird to see how much improved the Arkansas offensive line was when it comes to that particular point, but it wasn't the case. And that led to just the LSU Tigers dominating the time of possession, had the ball for over 41 minutes. Arkansas only retained it for only 18 minutes. And Sam Pittman called that the difference of the game, said it was huge, that they couldn't run the football. And in order to compete in this conference, you have to be able to not just throw the football, which Arkansas was able to do on Saturday, but run it as well.
Yep, and how much of that was your offensive line? It looked like a team to me in a lot of ways, offensively and defensively. Yes, you're missing some players, but Ty, it also looked to me like a team that had a lot of distractions this week. Head coach had been gone for 10 days, didn't get back in the presence, in the flesh till Wednesday. Things had kind of been up in the air to a degree with some players. You were missing part. Just looked to me like a team that has been dealing with some distractions. Things were just off a little bit. And the running game, I think, was one indicator.
I think when you look at this football game, though, and to say, well, Arkansas didn't have all these defensive linemen, which we listed them off, whether Julius Coates, whether it's Eric Gregory, whether it was Zach Williams, Isaiah Nichols, Xavier Kelly, and then Dorian Gerald. Well, you also look at the other side of the football. They lost Miles Brennan, their starting quarterback for the year. You're starting a true freshman quarterback. Derek Stingley Jr., the best cornerback in college football, didn't play the majority of that second half. I mean, to say that, hey, Arkansas was dealing with this, well, LSU's been dealing with stuff too. Plus all the
You're talking about wiping out, 6 defensive linemen? I mean, you have a quarterback that you played that's had how many days now to get ready? It's not like he found out 3 days ago, 4 days ago, or within a week he was going to be the starter. And in defensive line, it's about a rotation. They just didn't have the ability to rotate.
I'm just pointing to to say there's no Sam Pittman did not want to make excuses in the locker room, and all I'm pointing to for argument's sake is LSU's not only that, all the opt-out players that they had, all the guys that they're legitimately if you want to make an excuse as a fan, you're welcome to do that. All I'm saying is to say that Arkansas was the only one shorthanded on Saturday is an incorrect statement.
No, you're exactly right. But sometimes there's excuses, and then sometimes there's reasons. And Arkansas missing 6 defensive linemen, is that an excuse or a reason? Because I think that falls more in the reasoning of how we got to the bottom line of a loss.
Let me bring this up. If Arkansas had managed to win that football game on Saturday, are we talking extensively about how much the defensive line not being their help? No, we're not.
I think we should be talking about how well they played without those 6 guys, because I thought they played exceptionally well with the players that were missing, considering you asked them to play nearly 42 minutes.
And you said they averaged a little over 3 yards per carry.
3, yeah.
So, listen,
3 on the dot.
And the young players like a Jashad Stewart, some of the other guys that were up front, I know I'm forgetting the Marcus Miller, who's a redshirt from it. They had some young guys that were in there that were being asked to do something they've really never had to do, and that's compete and play in an SEC football game for an extended period of time. There are just other parts that you should have taken advantage of that football game, especially LSU's secondary, which is not what it should have been with, obviously, Derek Stingley Jr. not playing much.
You did take advantage. Woods got open and got free a few times, but you're right. And rarely does any game come down to one mistake. We haven't even mentioned, and it should have been probably much higher on our list, the interception that Franks threw that basically set up. I think we mentioned it once in the opening segment of the show and gotten back to that particular play.
Mm-hmm.
You want to point to a play that maybe swung the game? You want to point to a moment? Let's talk about that play where he was trying to get it to Knox and just he threw an interception that apparently, I mean, you look at it, I think most people would agree that's on Franks. It gets returned to the 1-yard line. It wasn't a pick six, but might as well have been. The next play it scores. I mean, you talk about a huge play in the ball game that helps determine the outcome. There's your one right there.
And we had talked about for the last couple of weeks how accurate and the decision-making of Felipe Franks, and he still had a really solid ball game when he threw for 300 yards and was really accurate on deep downfield throws, but that pick cost him. And Arkansas he hadn't thrown an interception since, I believe, the Ole Miss football game where the ball deflected off of Tyson Moritz and a safety for Ole Miss caught it, but that was a pick that you just couldn't afford in that situation. And I wish that I mean, as everyone else does listening to the program, I wish that didn't happen because that was big. There was a fumble or two that I think LSU had. I know Stingley muffed a punt. I think there was one more that Arkansas. I think it was T.J. Finley muffed a snap, and you weren't able to get back on top of that. I think were the two that you weren't able to recover. We know what happened with the Joe Fouché one. Obviously, he wasn't given the football after the replay, and then you were able to get the one. I think Monteric Brown was the one that came up with it, if memory serves me correct. But another thing you can point to is Arkansas's inability to get off the field on third down and to convert third down conversions. 0 for 10 in this football game on third down. 0 for 10. Now, 1 for 1 on fourth down, but that is inexcusable and unacceptable. And I know you didn't have Rakeem Boyd in that football game, but there's no excuse. You were talking about distinguishing excuses and reasons. Well, the reason you lost the football game is because you couldn't run and you couldn't keep the drive sustained on third down. Yeah. And there's no person that can come to me and say that it's acceptable to go 0 for 10 on third down. I mean, that's what Mike Woods was asked about at the game. It's like, Mike, you guys went 0 for 10. He's like, when you go 0 for 10, you're asking for it.
Yeah,
he's 100% right.
Brett Good will be with us Wednesday. We were texting at the end of the game, and he was talking about the hidden yardage killing Arkansas again. Just the little things you don't think about, and he pointed out the ball rolling in the punt game and not covering those. I mean, just another killer. I mean, you let 8 or 10 or 12 yards roll off. There's your first down that you got to make up for. Seemed like inside the entire second half, we talk about field position, and Arkansas's second half field position was horrendous. As the Arkansas 18 for the game, but in the second half, what was it, the 10-yard line? In the third quarter, it was awful. So I mean, field position was really bad in this game. So those are some things that just when you look at it, Arkansas in the second half averaged the Arkansas 10 for the game, the 18. In the third quarter alone, Arkansas started at their own 7 by average.
Here's the question I had when it came to not fielding the punts, especially when it started raining. Do you think Scott Fountain told Burks and Perotti just let him go because he didn't want a muff punt? That was the question I had as far as that goes. Now, before it was started getting kind of sloppy and stuff, I would understand your point. But, I mean, do you want to be – and we saw Stingley muff one. I mean, Arkansas was lucky that, let's see, Franks threw the INT. Did they have a fumble in that game?
That'd be a good question for Brett on Wednesday about, what do you do? Do you risk the muff or do you field it? Because obviously you don't want to have the turnover, but you simply can't have consistently giving up those yards. And you were there. I was. It's hard to tell. It wasn't a heavy rain throughout the game, but it rained the whole game or just part of the game?
It was just an ugly day, and it felt to me, I mean, it was part of the game, but you could tell the conditions were not pristine. I mean, they rarely are in Fayetteville, Arkansas for football, but that was because I was asking myself the same thing. I got asked because, again, I was sitting next to several Morning Rush listeners, and they were asking me, why are they doing that? And that was just the first thing I thought, well, they don't want a muff punt because we saw Stanley Jr. muff a punt. You don't want the same thing if you're Arkansas. And there was one where I was just like, what are you like? So what I was always taught is you stand at the 10-yard line. If it goes over your head, you let it go. There was one, it was like a Reggie Fish type moment where Traylon turns around and catches it like back shoulder like this. Now he caught it, he didn't muff it, but I was like, why did you try and catch that when you've let the other? Like, it just didn't make a lick of sense to me. as far as that goes. But while the special teams, again, killed you, I'll tell you what didn't kill you is Felipe's downfield balls. 5 of 5 on 20-plus yards or more, 245 yards, and a touchdown. Was unbelievable when throwing the deep ball. Anytime Mike Woods has single coverage, he's going to Mike, and Mike has delivered time and time again.
All right, it's been a Hot Take Monday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by the all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. All the top brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit, plus their mobile service shuttle, hey, relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Happy Thanksgiving from Wheels RV. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
I know another point was discussed, and we were talking about what looked to be an LSU touchdown where the guy had the possession of the ball. I think we've come off the Hudson Clark mountaintop a little bit. I think that it's pretty evident that a lot of teams are starting to pick on him a little bit. And I'm not trying to go after specific, but that's just something that if you're watching the game, that Hudson's got beat. He got beat on that one touchdown, almost got beat on that other. They're starting to pick on him a little bit when they do match up occasionally, or man, that's something that you just need to keep an eye out for. And I mean, Barry Odom doesn't really have and Sam Carter don't really have a choice. Jarquez McClellan opted out. Jerry Jacobs opted out. I mean, I don't know who's Hudson's backup at this point, but I have noticed that he's got beat these last couple of games.
And in the secondary, you're going to be without Catalan for the first half this week.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very, very short rotation as far as that's concerned. We'll see what Eli Drinkwitz and that Missouri offense does following that game. Clay Henry's going to join us tomorrow, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, at 7 o'clock. Really excited to get Clay's take on this matchup, and we'll also look ahead to Missouri a little bit. We're gonna have Brett Good like usual on Wednesday, and then Tom and Richard will join us on Thursday. We might have another guest, or excuse me, I'm sorry, we're gonna have Thanksgiving on Thursday. We're not doing a show.
Turkey legs.
I will be too. I'm excited about that. Excited to eat my Arts deep fried turkey on Thursday. So I need to make sure that we get Sister Schubert rolls and mashed potatoes and gravy for our Thanksgiving meal. But we'll talk a little turkey along with some football the rest of the week. For Tommy Kraft, Matt Jenkins, I'm Todd Richardson. Don't spend the rest of Monday sitting on your hands. We will talk to you tomorrow. Listen to Halftime coming up at 11.